Meow meow. Hello. Oh god. I'm so tired. No. I didn't even finish getting ready. No, I'm not late. It's the sponsor segment starts at 3 or like in 40 minutes, but I just like starting early before. I don't have to start. I mean I'm allowed to start whenever, but I just like starting a little early. Oh, I forgot to do this. Where F is this? Hello, Hyoon Nation. I have good news. I graduated under. Can we get a clappy? Can we get a big round of clappy? Congratulations. Yay! We love that for you. Where the frick is my I need to finish doing my makeup. I want to. I want to start one. Oh gosh. Elf stream? No. I just was doing my makeup before I got on stream. I didn't even finish. I'm like basically done, but you know. And now in the middle of eating. Elf keeps showing up in your recommended now. Oh, cause of the stream. Aga. On the Lokes, I kind of want to watch. Okay, after I'm done watching PAX, I want to see how Super's doing in this tournament because he's playing in a Marvel Rivals tournament. Because I don't. It's like such a strange thing because they have like what is it? It's the format is really weird because they have like captains, but it's like gym class where they have to like pick like from a pool of people, and then they have to like and then they just like go down this like an order. Yeah, it's the XQC tournament, and I was like, no, Super's a captain, so he doesn't get picked last. He gets to pick, and they haven't drafted yet. Is there ever a time I'm not considering Marvel Rivals? Yeah, a lot. Is that why Tyler's streaming that slop? Yeah, because he's in it. Him and E-Rob are in it. And then I think I was watching Super while I was getting ready, and then he said E-Rob is like, because there's like different rounds of like when you pick people, and then like number one is like all like the one above all players, and then E-Rob's in like group 5 or 6. And then someone was like, "Yo, E-Rob's popping off right now to Super," and then he tunes into E-Rob's stream, and then on E-Rob's stream, it's like, if you leave too much, you will get penalized. And he's like, "That's a good start. You should draft him." If you lose to E-Rob, you have to install. Didn't Super lose to him in the world's? Actually, I guess he placed underneath E-Rob in the world's greatest gamer tournament. The first one. Was Super in the second one? He was, right? I don't remember. He got second. Wait, really? Out of the one on the brush. This is a mascara one. I'm making my under eyes show a little bit, or under eyelashes before. Boyd put him in the back. Oh, girl, I already know. Boyd is just too good at gaming. That guy. That guy's a gaming unit. One second. The Bomberman incident. Wait, what happened? Is that the game that Super lost in? Yeah, you guys hear Binu because she was chilling in here earlier, and then I kicked her out because I was like, I gotta stream. I'm sorry, little gal. Sorry, give me one moment. I'm finishing my makeup. He was Venus at it. I don't expect Super to have played Bomberman. He's too little. What were the games? Weren't they like all Riot games in the second gamer thing? There's like TFT and like Valorant and League of Legends. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of. No, I thought there was. Really? Then what thing am I thinking about? It was like Timu Fall Guys. Oh well, there was TFT. Yeah, there was TFT. Wasn't there Valorant too, or was it CS? No, CS was in the first one. I don't remember. Well, I'm just recalling different stories, so yeah. Thing Rival? Wait, Marvel Rivals? God, chills warning on that one. My favorite time. What game, honestly? You know what? I'm gonna have Super Stream on the side and just peer over at it on my second monitor during, not during PAX. Surely not, but like, I'm just gonna have it there because out of curiosity. Surely! Hyoon is a super TF. I am a super TF viewer. I have so many channel points at his channel, but I also just leave his stream open, so that's probably why. I don't even like actually watch him. I just have his like. I just hear him yap in the background, and then I'm like, this is my stream. Can someone help me? How to commit tax fraud? I don't think I can help you on that one. He's a funny guy. Super is a being for sure. I don't know what to call him, but he is a being. He has some funny moments. Super is a good little lad. He's like He's like the kid in class that never wants to do anything wrong, and then he always gets his little like golden little star, and then if he doesn't get his golden little star, he'll get sad. Hey Lois. So like me? Oh no, I don't care about getting golden stars. I don't give a hoot. He would be sad if he didn't get his golden star though. Let me have this tax return open. Wait for the 8 months. Philly, Philly. Where the frick is my game? Yeah, here, and then where's the link? The YouTube link? Oh, yeah, I'll just have this playing in the back. eating, so I mean. But you guys are gonna care. You guys are gonna see how many points I have in Super's channel. I actually have the stream open all the time. Am I not a good friend?
I think we're gonna take first, right?
Yeah, just keep going. Yep.
I'm a hashtag super viewer.
Number 2 player is.
Hold on. We're just gonna watch this while I eat. Girl, you're always there.
Shroud.
Ooh.
Okay, but
Nice. Let's go.
how long
Two
have you been
spots.
playing, or how long have you been
I'll
watching
take-
Super?
I'll take number 3. It's all good. Surely not number 3.
I hope you end up on E-Rob's team so you guarantee lose. Bro, I'm not playing in this. Or are you talking about Super?
Alright, third.
Big sun. It's not too bad. Not too bad.
All right.
Since like November? Girl, okay, you got some serious problems.
4th place is
That's insane.
Super TF.
Not bad.
Super.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'll take 5th. It's whatever.
It's actually,
Like
it's actually
felon.
terrible for a snake draft.
I don't know, buddy.
Being right in the middle, I think it's terrible.
he
but,
has a
you know.
top hat
Fifth
that
place
he's
is
drawing the names out of.
10s.
Wait, why is
I'll take
tens
6.
backwards?
It's good, though. It is
Wasn't
good.
Super's
get
name
back,
like
right?
It's actually
facing
not bad. You get back-to-back
No,
picks.
good. Not
Yeah.
bad.
Zenat?
Pull it out of the hat. At least give yourself the sad. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, boom.
All right.
It's upside down, not
Okay, so
backwards.
now we've got that locked in. Captains, do you have your
Xena.
list of players to choose from? I assume you guys have that in front of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get cracking. Let's start with Necros. You got 1 minute starting now.
I'll take Guru.
Guru it is. Shroud, you can follow straight after. We just move through this.
Oh boy, there's a lot of pressure here. I'm gonna pick.
I know Super wants Gale.
There's so many good options.
Use your full minute.
You're 40 seconds. 40 seconds left.
Wait, was
I'm
XTC
gonna
late to his
grab-
own thing?
Space.
All right. 10 players going first.
Was he
Respect it, respect
streaming
it.
before this, or did he like
I'll
just
take
wake
mine.
up?
All right, Super.
That's kind of funny, honestly.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
give a
we'll remember
hoot.
in
I
that
mean, he
first
was
round,
just
to be fair. All right, Super,
freaking.
you're up, brother.
I will take Gale. Actually.
Oh, okay. Well, he gets his pick.
Respect that. Respect that.
Ooh.
We'll field player. All right, we got 10s up next, buddy. Your choice.
That's a big pick. That's actually a big pick.
Not actually huge.
I will take M17.
Am I left-handed?
ML7?
No.
Good choice.
Yeah,
Like
ML7.
ML7.
Yeah,
My
Alright.
camera's just
yeah,
mirrored.
go for it, then. That's a support player. It's all good, though.
You
Well,
get 2 picks now.
This is rigged. Who you choosing XTC for that first round, buddy? Tell me.
Now, hold on. Now, wait. I get 2 picks, right?
M17, is that what he
Yeah.
said?
I get a minute each. Yeah.
Can you move your
Yep.
cam to cover
He's gonna
Super?
use the full
I-
time. He's gonna milk
Wait,
it.
watch this.
Well, I'll walk through my thinking process here. I'm thinking Seagull's like a well-rounded, smart player.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Mendo in here though, but I don't know how she's been playing lately because he plays a bunch of other games.
I got bad news for you though. You have to choose the one remaining round 1 player first.
Oh,
That would
Moxie's still
be-
here.
Yes.
Oh, Moxie.
Hi, Roz.
Easy, right?
I hang out with Moxie so much that I see
Yeah,
his name,
we know.
And it's like, yeah, it's like everyday business. I didn't
Yeah.
see it then. So I'll take Moxie from the top. And then
Early streams
in the
give you
second
life,
round,
girl. It
I
drains
get
my
Jeffrey,
life.
Seagull, Colazo, Mendo, Doki Bird, Noko.
He doesn't understand his own tourney rules. Wait, what?
Between Seagull
Wait, what is he confused
and
about?
Doki. Who would I take?
Just saying. Got an ex-teammate in that bracket, brother. Gonna try and rekindle little Chem.
Dude, I
Is
love Mendo.
Slurfor in this? No, I don't
Mendo.
think he has enough clout to be in
I
this
will
tournament.
I will pick
15 seconds,
This is the.
Seagull.
I mean,
buddy. Locked it in.
do you
Seagull
see?
won game of the day.
He did
So
go
that,
0
that
and
puts us on to
7.
10s now. Your second round pick here, 10s. Go for it.
I will pick Mendo.
Nice.
Good choice. That was what I was gonna choose, but I want to go with Seagull because we should be on team together. So.
What are we watching? We're watching Super while we eat
Who
because
do I want?
there's no YouTube video I want to watch, so I'm just watching him
Yeah, I mean. No, I'm gonna
You
get.
could just wait the minute out.
and I'm hungry, so I want to eat.
I'm
before we do
gonna
our packs thing.
get
We.
Doki, I think. Yeah, we'll go Doki.
Mendo said saved in chat, but I saw that by the way. I'm not, bro. That's just weird, but.
I was thinking either
That is
Doki
it.
or
That sounds moving quick.
J3.
All right,
but-
Super locks in Doki. That means it's you, Summit.
You guys are
Super
making this
last
hard, bro.
place. That'd be so funny. No, there's no way, because Gale's really good.
Yeah, there's no tanks left in that.
And then
bracket,
he has-
in fairness.
Man, should I just
Actually,
double
I'm
up on
curious
tanks
who's gonna-
right now?
who's
Just
gonna
make
pick
sure
for
I
the
have
next-
two good tanks.
Well, Jay is good. It's good DPS, but he's kind of a baby. So I'm just.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
Super's
dude.
getting last with.
I gotta
They
have at least
drafted.
1 and 1. I'll take Jay.
All right,
I need
J3.
a good tank, a good DPS, no matter what.
GG.
It's not bad.
If he gets
Alright, Sean, your pick.
Aspen or someone from the next one, because he already has a really good DPS,
This is just
and
like
then he gets like a
just like how Summit
support
was, where I'm like, do I grab
or like
two
other
tanks,
people, then he's just
lock
fine.
that in?
Get him out of the way.
XCC hasn't played in months, so I
Alright.
mean,
Right. I'm
was it
gonna
draft
do
projection
that,
for
actually.
me?
I wanna lock in two
What do you
tanks here.
mean? Like, who's he gonna pick? Dude, I feel like low key Super just on the
Don't
Lokes
know how
might
to say
take
his name,
Erob
though. Is it
as
Palazzo?
a as a
Yep.
fun pick.
Palazzo.
I might have to
There it
pass
is.
on Aspen here, guys. If I'm being
Alrighty, that
honest.
means it is Necros here with the last pick of round number 2.
I mean, obviously Noko, right? No one else is left.
Yep, lock him in. No go for
You
Necros.
gotta,
We're coming
you gotta
back to
say
you,
it like
Shroud.
that, bro. The fuck? Okay.
Wait, why is he saying he's gonna pass on Aspen?
Do I pick
He
anyone
hates
here?
women?
How does this work?
Thoughts?
I mean,
don't I pick again now? Because it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
we
yo,
beat
my
Classic
B,
again,
bro,
yeah.
my B. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got 2 in a row. Sorry, Shroud.
yeah. I'm gonna take Aspen.
Well, there you go.
Aspen.
Yeah,
Oh,
you,
someone
so
picked
just so you guys know,
already.
in this bracket,
Nope.
like it's just a guideline here now. So you can sort of take anyone, but you know, there's some suggestions about where you can pick these people. So he's pretty opened up now, Shroud. Your pick, man.
Brawl Team Brawl Pro Crumbs. Wait, actually, you're right.
Down.
Lulu.
Lulu it is.
I'm gonna
Locking
be
it in.
really greedy here.
That's gonna put us
and
on
get-
summits.
Another DPS, and then try and get Fan after.
Spoil for choice now.
Can we see
Yeah.
the list?
I'm gonna get
Can I
greedy
click
and
on the
big.
thing bottom right?
Yeah, we'll flash it up for you
list.
guys in a sec.
Yeah.
Summit, you got 40 seconds.
Do you guys actually click on that? I've never looked at that. It just stays there.
There's a lot of high rank players living there.
You Grandmaster players, few Celestial players.
There's 7 TP setting that auto claims it.
25 seconds.
Yeah, but I don't care.
I will take.
I don't want it.
Oh my god, this is hard.
That can just stay there. What am I gonna do with my channel
15
points?
seconds.
Yeah. Let me have a good look.
10 seconds.
Modify or
Don't.
highlight my message.
Altouche it is.
Oh,
Altouche.
that's what I was gonna pick.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good call. All right, Super. It's up to you, buddy.
Super
You got a
literally
minute.
has nothing in his channel.
This is IQ test, by the way.
I am not
I'm
highlighting a
gonna
message, bruh.
get
Eating.
Go Bliss. Yeah, I
Damn.
think that's the pick.
Good pick. Good pick. All right, 10's you're up.
Maybe.
1 minute.
I'm thinking.
Don't think too hard here. I think is the.
Still got some
That's right.
some GMs in here, some
Yeah.
ex pros.
I need them. I
will
need them to
take-
freaking 250k without all claim is crazy. I've been watching Super for like 2 years.
Big song of tea.
Yeah.
And he streams really long
Maybe
hours.
I'll take
Like,
I mean,
Epic Whale.
you guys
Let me
saying
see.
cut, what do I do,
All right.
bro?
I'm probably
Fortnite
more in
World Champion
Q's
in there. I
channel.
like
I'm
it.
a cutie
You are
pie.
the
Good one.
one
All right,
person here
XQC,
by
it's up to you, mate. You got a
Okay.
minute.
So I have a minute. I gotta ask, is Sir Pineapple?
Look at how much I have in
good?
Cutie channel. Watch.
Sir Pineapple. Let me know if this guy's good. Does he even match our comp?
Olay. But I've been watching Cutie for years,
Guys,
so
really, right?
that would make sense.
Um,
Only skip.
Chat
Did you
says
see my month,
I also
my
think there's
sub
no cheating, so.
month message? I think it was 7 months God's
You
mode.
can ask Chad.
I will pick. How much I had?
You got 30 seconds, buddy.
I am not one of
You can ask
Cutie's
God's
earliest
mode.
subs.
Yeah, I actual.
I
pick
subbed to
Super
him when he was
Apple.
like really
I'll pick him.
popular.
Alright.
I'll take a risk on a random play I haven't seen. Not random, but I haven't seen him play, so I'll pick pineapple.
Okay,
And then-
you got another pick.
You
Oh.
get 2 picks. Yeah.
Since the Stone Age, that's not like his earliest sub would be like way before.
Dude, I want to pick Big Tonka T, but dude, what a risk.
What have you got
What?
to lose?
Yeah, I mean,
Look at your team. You got Moxie Seagull, Sir Pineapple already. That's solid. You got 40 seconds too, by the way.
you may as well send
Yeah,
it.
Wait, I
Cuties
can
been streaming for a
tag duel
really
with
long
Tyler
time. There's
One.
no way I'm any of his first
No
subs.
disrespect. I've seen him play in league. I've seen him play. Guys, I've seen him play chess, but I will pick dude. This is
15 seconds.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to Club Penguin. This is just taking too long.
what was you thinking? A healer?
I thought it would go faster, but Club Penguin time until. What do you mean was? Okay, I'm saying was because Cutie back at his League of Legends peak was like insane. He was like the biggest streamer back then. I mean, I'm not saying that he's a small streamer now. He's still a big streamer, but I'm saying back then he used to be the guy, like the man. He was that guy. And then everyone was like very influenced like by him. Like the way he spoke and everything and how he came off. So what happened? League of Legends died, things changed, people like watching different things. I mean, he still has a lot of people that watch him, no matter what he does. I mean, bro was big chilling. Like, Cutie's the type of person who, like, he doesn't care about what's meta. Like, some people, like, some streamers and whatnot, they like paying attention to, like, what's meta on the site or, like, what people stream and what brings in the most. But Cutie has always been a person that just streams whatever he feels like playing, so. You don't give a hoot. But that's what makes it nice, because he just doesn't care. Like, you just know he's doing it for the love of the game because he just wants to, so. Was I a fangirl when I first met him? No. I mean, I've watched him for a long time, but I wasn't like, oh my freaking, wait, Super Pick Tyler won? Wait, big things happening? Hold on, let me. Yeah, don't hack my Club Penguin account, please. I don't want anyone to do that. I don't think they're gonna yell. Wait, is this loud? It's not loud to me though. A little bit? Fine, I'll lower it. Better? Am I a fangirl type of person? No, I'm not a type of person. Like, if I were to see, like, some, like, person that I knew, or, like, yeah, if I met Lady Gaga on the street, I'd be like, hello. But that'd be it. Like, I'm not the type of person to be like, oh my god, I need to ask them for a picture, and I need to ask them for an autograph. I'd just be like, hi. And that's it. And I'd be like, that's freaking cool. I've been nervous meeting someone. Probably like if I had to do stuff or like meet someone that I didn't know for like I don't know, not like a friend or like someone that maybe I'm meeting for the first time, like a friend that I haven't met IRL yet. Would I say hi to Super if I met him IRL? No, I'd freaking dropkick that guy. Why is Dr. Epic back in here? Wait, I remember that freaking guy. I'm gonna go fishing. Wait, what is this? Tours here. Would you like to become a tour guide yourself? Wait a minute. Was I shaking the first time I met Dappa? No. We just met very casually because, what was it? I didn't even know I don't think we even knew, like, that we were there. Until we're like, wait a minute, hello. What was the person I was most happy to meet? Your mama. I don't really think about that. I don't think I think about, wow, I'm so happy to meet this person. I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Because I'm more happy to get to know someone, like, over time. Because, like, I don't really perceive people, like, before I meet them, if that makes sense. Because, like, your experience with someone, I don't know, it just varies. It's like, just because someone else had a bad experience or, like, didn't really think much of them, or if they didn't, like, click well, doesn't mean that it's gonna be, like, that with you, so, you know. So I don't really think of much when I meet someone. It's more like the aftermath, if that makes sense. The line's not attached to the hook. Well, that's not something I can change. It's just like that. Will I be spending Mother's Day with our mothers this week? Yeah, actually. No, well, Mother's Day I have to stream on PAX, or stream the PAX thing. Can you turn the game down? Wait, why? I did turn it down. You don't like the music? I like the music. It's still loud? Girl. Well, you guys don't want to hear me anyway, so what's the point? Why? I could just not talk and then you guys would be like, it's fine. So why even tell me that it's too loud? Erav got last picked. Oh, jeez. Wait, who picked him on his team? Oops. That's so funny. Oh God, Erav. Wait, what happened to my? Hello? Oh, I didn't have my fish on or my worm on. Who up using the worm right now? Me? Yeah, I forgot to replace my truck nuts. Am I practicing to speedrun Club Penguin? Yeah. I don't have a truck though. No? Wait, who's Super's final list? I don't know too many names. Well, I mean, I saw his first two, so I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine. Ain't no one watching that draft? Well, I guess we'll see, like, when he gets in the lobby or something. Thank you for the 20 months, Aishai. Is she? Aishai? Thank you. Ain't no one watching that tournament? Wait, I just like watching Super's pop, though, because it's interesting to watch people's pops. Ain't no one watching that tournament when PAX East is streaming and has such amazing handles at the same time, am I right? Yeah, so true, honestly. I couldn't have said it any better myself. You just might be right about that one. What time am I spawning in tomorrow? Oh god. I think it's like... I think it's like... I need to recheck the time. But it's like probably maybe the same time as today? Question mark. So not like giga early, you know. But like I still have time to like sleep and stuff. You get me? Today's just like the 1 hour then, yeah. Get that bag, Gramps? Yeah. Sponsor maxing because moving. The land before time. Bow. Breaking up into 1 hour segments is better. Honestly, no, I wouldn't mind just doing the full like 4 hours, but they don't have days like that, so. Yippee! Wait, I got Giga coins in that fishing game again. Sup? We have a 9-hour stream today. No, I think I'm gonna do this sponsor segment and then go offline, chill for a bit. I mean, it's my brother's birthday tomorrow, so maybe think about what to get. Maybe I'll go out. Wait, do I have anything tomorrow? Wait, what? Tomorrow is Saturday, right? Okay, maybe I'll go out to dinner with him. Yeah, I mean, I have the PAX thing, but like other than that, which is like earlier in the day, I'll probably go out to dinner. Maybe I'll find a place to eat dinner with my brother. IRL thing. Oh no, that's not. No, I don't have that. So that's a different day. So I guess I'll just go out to eat. But what to eat though? I mean, I guess I could ask him if he feels like eating anything, or should I surprise him? Thinking. Steakhouse maybe? Get what he likes? But he's like me where he just likes whatever. Treat him to girl dinner. I mean, I'll see. Maybe I'll go. Maybe we'll have sushi. Sushi good. IRL stream? Girl, no. I am not IRL streaming. The only time I IRL stream is probably if I like go travel abroad or something. And then you should dine and dash. Well, oop, I accidentally clicked on this. If I was a kick streamer, maybe, but yeah, that's not who I am, so yeah, I'm good. You should do that? No, I'm good. Not my type of thing. Rip kick deal? No, I literally... Wait, did I ever tell you guys? That one time my agent was like, hey, I know you wouldn't want this anyway, but I'm just gonna tell you anyway since, like, you know, like, we should tell you, like, everything that you're offered. And then they were like, yeah, Kick asked if you wanted to be on their side. I was like, no! Yeah, really. How much? I don't know. I'm pretty sure they would probably throw out a number if I said something, but I was like, no, I'm good. Would have been a nice bag, though. No, I'm good. I don't think, no matter what they would have given me, I would have not started streaming on Kick. Like, that's just... Maybe if I didn't care about anything, then yeah. But like, why... The bag is not worth it. I mean, it's just like... out of, like... Like, is that something you want to be associated with? No. Thank you for the 13 months Federal Alliance. Like, thank you. It's like the same thing of like, it's like the same thing of like when gambling sponsors reach out to you and they're like, hey, you want to like, we're gonna offer you this much, like, you want this? And I'm just like, no, every time, because I don't gamble, nor do I want to yeah, have people watch that. But you get to go viral on Twitter every week. Yeah, the only reason people go viral is because they do bad things. And I don't think, I mean, some people don't care about going viral for bad things, but I don't want that. I'm good. Let's go freaking hashtag viral, guys. Let's do something totally illegal and awful and get put in jail and go viral on Twitter for that, guys. Doesn't that sound like a fun time? Prison IRL stream, wait. That might be crazy. 31 years in prison is worth the money, though? Yeah, I don't think so. Stream from prison would be heat? Yeah, I don't think you could, Gordon behind bar stream, wait. Sponsor in 3 minutes, yeah, I'm looking at the time. Yeah, I saw that he's facing 31 years in prison. I think he should just not be let out, I'm gonna be honest. That man can stay in there forever and rot. There's one fish on the side. This middle fish right here. He's giving a nasty side eye. Hi, Void. How's your internet today? Is it better now? I hope it is. I'm praying that your internet is working today. Yeah, we're watch partying the thing. You just woke up, yippee! Hopefully it'll be good. Glam! Okay. It's time to watch party packs. Can we see the drum? Oh yeah, in the coffee shop? Hold on. I didn't submit mine though. Wait, it's still the same. Or well, the Sanju one's still here. I'm pretty sure these are all the same ones that we saw. Do they change like every week or something? Probably. Shrug. Alright. Guys, I'm supposed to be streaming this, but like, why is it not like... Guys? Hold on, on the Lokes, let me go look at, I mean, it does say 4 p.m. EST. So... So, what the frick do we do until, is that the right link? Oh, wait, maybe this, oh, this is old. Oh, this is the day one co-stream. Wait, let me go to, is PAX PAX East. Twitch.tv/PAX East. Where's just PAX? PAX. Oh, here it is. Oh, here we go. Up next, Saving Azeroth. Here we go. Boom. Yeah, I mean, I thought that was the YouTube link would just change. Yeah, I mean, all I have to do is put sponsored in the title, I think. I don't even have to say I'm watching something. I'm pretty sure I could just put... Had a blast watch partying PAX East yesterday. So excited to see what's in store today. Same, honestly. I'm so excited. Hashtag influence. God, this will be so freaking awesome, guys. God, I love WoW and I love PAX. Guys, who's freaking excited? Wait, I see people in the crowd. Chills. The silence is deafening. Oh, there they are. Wait, look, everyone's cheering. Yay! Woo!
Hello, everybody.
Do you think Northern Line... I don't think Northern Line plays WoW,
Welcome to
though.
our panel on the evolution of Azeroth. I'm Randy.
Can I join them again?
community
Well,
manager
they're not...
with the Warcraft
They're not
team.
at, like, a table.
I started playing World of Warcraft
Wayne's
20
so
years
quiet.
ago. And
20?
I joined Blizzard 6 years after that. I want you to meet my coworkers, starting with Paul.
You start with me. My name is Paul Cubitt. Nice to meet everybody.
His mic is a
I'm
little...
Associate Game Director on World of Warcraft, working on the Midnight expansion. You can see a younger picture of me right behind me here.
There you go.
Yes. So, due to the fact I've been working on this game for close to 20 years.
Wait, this is what happens when you work on Blizzard games. You age rapidly.
Hope you can.
They suck the youth
one,
out
two.
of you at Blizzard, and they also take
Test
some
one, two.
other stuff,
All right.
but I can't say
Perfect.
that during
Yeah, you just gotta touch it.
Yeah, been working on the game since roughly when we were working on Courage. I started in game testing as a QA tester and worked my way into quest design. Did that for a long time. Worked on all.
They
parts
do
of the
what
game,
at Blizzard?
And now, working on making cool stuff at Midnight.
You know the
to
big
meet you.
naturals emote? They might steal something of the big naturals.
I'll jump right in next. Hey, everybody. My name is Jeremy
Considering.
Fiesel. I haven't been here for the 20 years that Paul has. I just celebrated my 15-year anniversary at World of Warcraft.
Yeah, they
Got my
really
cool
like
blue
milk
ring.
at Blizzard.
I
And
had
let's just
originally
say
started as an
of a
encounter
specific
designer.
variant.
One of the first things I made was the crazy boss fight List Resort, which was modeled after a lot of fun SNES flying games. I have done many fun things since then. After that, I went on
I'm
to
just
my
looking
favorite
at the
thing,
panelist
which was
images and they're
anything
just
fuzzy and
staring
cute.
at
I worked on
me.
battle pets for a really long
Wait, I
time.
can
I
literally
worked on
be
hunter
one of the
pets.
panelists.
I
Look.
worked on mounts.
I'm
I added a couple of
this
secrets
guy.
to the game, and nowadays I help head up the live services vertical on WoW. We add a lot of the stuff that's in the patches between the patches.
The patches between the patches. Hi, Maria.
Hi, how are
Close
you?
enough.
well.
Welcome back, Jesse.
Hi, I'm
It's
Maria
me,
Hamilton.
Jesse.
I'm the Associate Design Director on WoW. I actually played early on in the beta, so I've played the whole time.
Beta!
I love the game.
That is insane.
And I've only been with the team for a little over 5 years. I just got my sword, in fact. So they do arm us at 5 years.
Beta
which
top
is
right.
nice.
I'm not a beta. I'm
we
like
get mods
a.
earlier
Well, I
on
wouldn't
for
say
the-
I'm an alpha,
well,
but I would just
anyway.
say like I'm just a. I'm just
I
none
started
of the
off on
above.
the quest team, and I made a variety of different quests.
I'm
but
Giga
one of my
Beta?
favorite things I
Why?
made was Dead Blanchy, the
I'm
mount.
not a
I had
little
lot of
pup.
fun thinking through
Woman!
how that would
Okay.
play out and work and
Whatever
make
happened
sense.
to hello
and
or
I'm
hey,
responsible
greetings?
for,
Bro just said,
sort of the
pulled up and
world,
just said,
what we do in the world, the
woman.
quests, the narrative, and sort of how everything plays out in our expansions.
You are an alien,
Yeah.
Korean.
My name is Jesse
What's wrong with
Kalanchik.
being Korean?
I'm not an associate.
Wait, don't answer
I'm
that.
not a director.
Oh, mezzanine.
I'm one of the principal designers on WoW, and I lead up housing. I have...
You are a
I've only been
woman.
on the WoW
I
team for
mean,
3 years, but I've
insert
played
super
WoW
TF clip
longer than
here.
anybody up here.
Newsflash.
Since the, like, technical friends and family alpha.
I am a woman.
I used to be very, very hardcore. Now I'm very dad. And so.
All right. So let's go back to the beginning. Thinking back on the beginnings of World of Warcraft in 2004.
Thank you for the 48 months,
How did
Azrael.
the
Thank
development
you.
team envision the living world of Azeroth growing and evolving?
Yeah, I could take this. So we've been thinking about Azeroth as a living world.
Guys,
for,
wishlist
since the
Bitcraft
beginning, and
Online now on
a living world
Steam.
can kind of mean a lot
How
of
do you
different
know?
things.
How do we know
I
you're
think,
not
like,
just a
first,
green screen
it
with a
means
voice
the world
changer
is
though?
changing, and that
Well,
could be from like a
I don't
minute to
think
minute,
this is like
hour to hour basis when
green
you're looking at
screen,
things
you know,
that
like,
were in the very first version of the game, like.
I'm
rare
not an
mobs or
AI
treasure chests,
generated
variation in the space that it wasn't always predictable.
If I were
Day to
AI
day,
generated, then I'd
mere existence
probably
of
say
a
like
day-night
Elon
cycle
Musk
sort of makes
and
the
some
world
other
feel a little bit
random
more
stuff.
alive
I
when
don't
you
know.
log in Elwyn at nighttime, and it's darker than when you were in earlier that day. It feels alive. And then of course the game can vary
Grok,
from
is this
week to week, month to
true?
month, year to year, as we go through the seasons and we have things like world events.
Wait, I
and
freaking
holidays.
recognize
Some
this
of the-
map.
we
Wait,
had
they
a
went
team at the
so
very beginning
far.
called
They
the
went
World
from
Events team, which
2
is just a group of
islands to
3
look at
intrepid designers who were
how much
entirely in
they've
charge of
how
building
much
things like
land they've
holidays.
put
They
in
built
the
all the first
game.
Winter
Chills
Veil
warning
and,
on that
and Hallow's
one.
End and things like that, moving out to Brewfest later on in Burning Crusade and so on. But also just populating the cities and the spaces and making it feel like the world was alive. So that's sort of like the first way that the world
They've
is
come
a
so
living
far
world.
in
Second is
11
how it's
years,
sort of
or
evolving and
sorry,
the
not
story
11,
progresses over time. In that
21
first,
years,
before we
they've
got to BC, I
expanded
think we
1,
had
2,
13
3,
patches.
4,
It got to
5,
like
6.
1.13. There was all sorts of things, just like the story advancing over time with the
Sorry.
addition of things like
I mean that like I'm
dungeons, new
laughing out of
adventuring
joy.
areas,
I'm not
new quest
laughing
lines,
because
raids,
of
all getting added in over
I'm
time,
laughing
sort of
out of joy.
figuring out how we were going to progress the story, and of course that continued into later expansions.
Hashtag
as the story
posy
moved,
vibes.
further and further. And last is just having players in the world.
Okay,
and
but the
gameplay
sponsor
changing.
is
The mere
not
existence of
for
y'all, if you
WoW,
play
it's
World of
for
Warcraft,
cats.
makes the
So
world,
I
you know,
feel
sort
like
of
I'm probably
vibrant
allowed to
and
say
varied
whatever I
from,
feel like
you know,
saying.
play session to play session.
Like
and
I'm
day to
just
day.
watching this segment,
It's,
but I could
even
say
more
whatever
the-
the frick I want.
again,
I'm pretty
you all,
sure. I'm just watching
have
this
changed
cat
in the past
stuff,
20
so.
years. We used to be
I
on Trello and
mean,
TeamSpeak.
Well, I
Now
didn't
we're
say anything.
on
I just
Discord.
said they just
We used to be
grew
on the
6
forums, now we're on
islands or
Discord.
areas over the course
Twitch
of
wasn't
21
a thing.
years.
YouTube was barely
That's
a thing.
it.
And so the way people play WoW has changed pretty drastically over the past 20 years as well.
I didn't say that was a positive
have
or
all
negative
sorts of
thing.
things
That
that
is just
come
certain,
along
that is just
that
a
are
statement
instigated by
that
the
I
players.
said.
So, for example, I like to think back on the Terran Mill versus South Shore battles.
He's
that
blue looking
would
on
take
there.
place over and over for months in some cases.
I'm not
And
here
I
to
always wonder,
influence anything.
where
I'm
was
just
the
here to
development
watch.
team's
That's
head at with
that's what
that?
I was
that a
sponsored for,
surprise?
to watch.
Was it something that
along.
really gave the team
Happy
a
Friday.
different look at how the game was going?
I like to say that this was intentional, and it very well might have been.
Got to leave work early
on that someone
in the
decided
Hyoon
that the positioning
stream.
of Terran Mill and South Shore, these two Horde and then Alliance places, were perfectly positioned for
Yeah, I don't know if
World
it's
PvP to
really
occur, but I
but
got
we'll
to imagine
see.
this was mostly emergent.
We'll
that
have a
players
more
were sort of
later on when we
discovering,
get to play Mario
that,
Party,
this was a
but
fun place to fight in general,
for
and they found other
now,
places in Stranglethorn Vale and elsewhere
might
where you
wanna-
could just sort of have
yeah.
fun interactions.
Might wanna
with
go
one
have
another.
lunch or
and,
something.
You know, that sort of emergent gameplay are things that we play off of. And
What games is this? This is for WoW.
Build versions of Terran Mill and South Shore to in Cataclysm and beyond to even further encourage.
You wonder if
things
anyone
like
on the
that,
couch
and
still
to,
plays the game. I'm pretty sure they all
build
play the
future
game.
PvP is a space where we do a lot of ideation based on the way
Eating
that we
lunch
see
while
people interacting.
watching this and having a great time. Yeah, I'm also eating and having a great time watching this.
It feels like the real world sometimes.
My memory of the Encourage event.
They look like
for-
they'd
for
play
me and my
WoW.
guild
What is that
was
supposed to
one of
mean? That's a
being
positive
on
thing,
a
right,
boat
Spare?
in Menethil Harbor for the entire event. And I recognize now that gave the design team something to chew on and something to improve against.
So were you on a boat because you were trying to get there, or because you were trying to stay as far away from the the ruckus is possible.
I actually wanted to be there. I just, I wasn't very lucky.
Yeah. So the Encourage event was sort of the culmination of us, again, building and trying to build a living world, a space where it
Wait,
felt like, the players
They did
were
a FNAF collab?
working together, acting together, this enormous war event.
That
For
was
those
one
of
of
you
the
who weren't there
original
or aren't
panels I was
familiar,
supposed to watch,
this
but it
was
was
an event
literally like
where
at 11
huge groups
a.m.
of players were
EST, and I was like, there's
gathering
no way
wolf
I'm waking
pelts,
up
and
for that,
the Alliance
so...
needed Peace Bloom, and the Horde needed this,
Yeah.
and we would all gather materials together, and then groups would choose champions, and you'd go through a difficult series of quests before one person on every server could ring the gong to open up this raid for their server, and it was this sort of huge epic moment that's really defined a lot of the way that we've designed public events later, and really been instrumental
I
in
mean,
figuring
yeah, I
out,
did
you know,
wake up, but
how
I
we
was
can
like,
build
girl.
this living world. You know, it didn't come without consequences, as Randy said. You know, he was stuck on a boat because it was.
Yeah, and then I went
a
back
lot of
to
these
sleep.
events had
Thank
brought
God I
so
went
many
back to
players
sleep
that it
'cause
just
I
brought
felt
the
like
server
death
to its
when I
knees.
woke up.
But I think we've learned lessons over then. I mean, we have since repeated this in WoW Cataclysm, in WoW Classic to greater success in terms of we were able to get more
Like,
players
May
in,
of
and
the
the servers
Leaf
are
skin?
not brought to their knees quite, at least to the
Because
level
they
that they were
wanted
in
to put it on a
the
character
first
that would
iteration. And of
that
course,
people
we
would
have
buy
tools
skins
like,
of more.
well, just better server engineering in general,
So-
and lessons we've learned, but also things like
Well,
sharding
they
to
put
be
it
able
on
to make
Juno,
sure that
right?
when player populations do get to a point where there's so many people that you're not having a fun experience anymore, then we can split them out into two, and then everybody continues to have fun.
So at some point after the launch of Original WoW,
It's 8 whole
the team
skins?
starts working on the first expansion.
Okay, wait,
Tell
I
me from a
low-key wanted a
design
JP
standpoint,
Sigma
what
skin
does that
over the
mean
M
in
Bison,
terms
but I
of
guess that works out too.
getting
It
to
looks
do
cool.
some things that maybe you didn't get to do originally,
Even as
or
a character in
build
Overwatch.
on some things that you learned about after the launch of Original WoW.
Yeah, so for, did I lose sound again? Test one.
There you go.
Okay. I'll sit forward like this, and then hopefully it won't happen.
Who got jury? It was,
Early
Kiriko.
on, when we're making VC, we sort of discovered that players were identifying in sort of different groups. You know,
who would've
the
guessed?
WoW player base is not monolithic. There are people who enjoy raiding. There are people who enjoy
Hey,
PvP. There are
billion
people
more
who
skins to
enjoy
Kiriko,
questing.
yeah.
Of course, there's people who enjoy everything, but that is not true of every single person, and some groups might prefer one thing over the other. For those who like questing, like myself included, Dad Mode Jesse now included as well, that you could run out of quests in Classic. It was sort of, you could complete everything, and then if you wanted to do sort of solo gameplay at that point, well, you were sort of limited to like professions, gathering is something you could do, but there wasn't a whole lot repeatable. So
You
Enter Daily
don't think
Quest is sort of our
Kiriko's
first
popular?
stab at building a questing game to satisfy
Girl.
that sort of player mindset who
Oh, yeah,
wants to just do questing, but you will never run out of. And so we started with the Ogres of Ogrilla. We had the Arakoa of Skedis as these areas. The Ethereals are also in Blade's Edge Mountains. And built daily quests for them so that you could come back day after day and continue to play questing. This was also done in a way that we wanted to make sure that the world felt alive.
Hanzo
it wasn't
got
static. That at least we would rotate
him.
through different quests on a daily basis, so you wouldn't know quite what
more
to
Diva
expect
skins?
as you climbed the ranks.
Wait, who has the
not
most
only
skins in
would
the
you
game?
have
Okay, obviously
new quests
Mercy
available
has
to
the
you from
most, and then
those
who's the
ogres of
second? It's
Ogrilla,
gotta be
but
like
also they
Diva or
might
something,
refer
right?
to you a little bit more reverentially as you became revered and exalted and so on. We also started learning lessons at this point on what it meant to build repeatable content like this. One of my favorite stories.
Does
I was working
Kiriko
at,
have
you
that many
heard me mention, I
skins?
worked in QA at the time, dealing with
Like,
bugs.
when I
and we started
went to
to deal with
Overwatch,
new
it didn't
types of
seem like
bugs
she
that
had
had to
that
do with
many.
people running the same quest multiple times in a row.
I mean, for when she
In
was
Blade's Edge
released,
Mountains,
like,
some
yeah,
of
she has
you
a lot of skins, but I don't think
oldies
she's the
like us
second
might remember
most.
there was a quest where it was a bombing run quest, but it was sort of different than ones you do now, where you had to bomb a couple Legion cannons and things like that, and piles of munitions in the areas of Blade's Edge Mountains.
Oh, is it
and
the
the cannons
foot
would fire
one?
back at you. The bug we found was that those areas would get really laggy on Sunday and Monday, and the first week
I
we
know
weren't
which
sure
one it is
exactly
with that
why.
opening. It's the
And then it
one,
happened
the
again the next Sunday and
Kiriko
Monday, and the reason why is
Halloween
because
skin
anytime
or
one of
whatever
those
it
things
is where
shot
she's
a
like
bullet
purple
at
and her
you,
feet
it
are
would
out,
summon a little
and
invisible
Super
creature,
replied
we call it a
underneath
bunny,
it.
up in the sky, and
Yeah.
they weren't despawning, and so after so many people ran this quest, day after day, the sky would get full of bunnies, and there'd be 100,000 bunnies in there, and again, servers brought to their knees. We fixed that, but this was sort of
Close
the
enough,
types of
welcome
lessons
back.
we were learning as we were building a living world and building this type of new
Overwatch
type of
bringing
content, which didn't exist
everything
in
to
Classic.
try to
We
stay
didn't have that
relevant.
type of bug.
I got to be king of the
Well,
ogres. Thank you very much.
I mean, they don't really have a competitive
also-
aspect anymore,
Thank
but
you.
they still have a.
I also really, really enjoyed the Netherwing Ledge.
A lot of
More
casual
than just
enjoyers,
having the
so I
boomerang
mean,
and beating on peons.
they're just kind of
there was
going off that.
such
Rick
a
and
sense
Morty!
of reaching a goal.
May
and that
25th,
goal
guys.
was
Chills
a
warning
flying
on that
mount.
one.
And of course, flying was the big step.
What am I eating?
At this point
I'm
in,
eating
in
a
WoW.
Cobb
The
salad
big
with
step
no
forward
dressing because I'm too
for
lazy to get up
gameplay
and
was
get dressing.
being able to get on your mount and fly. Did you fly?
I flew. I was the first person on my server to fly.
You were the first
Because
flyer.
again,
Girl.
hardcore as a child.
Right on.
I'm
in
getting
my,
my
like, 20s.
vegetables in.
No, I think flying, as a player back then, was groundbreaking. There was not the norm that you could fly in an RPG.
You're a
That you could
psychopath?
fly over places that you'd
Well, the
previously
thing is,
only
there's a
seen
lot of
from
bacon
the
bits
ground.
in it.
I
So it's
don't
just, like,
envy the artists and world
salty
builders who had
already.
to go in and make it so that things had textures on their tops.
So we didn't used to build the tops of buildings until you could fly.
Or the content designers who had to now fill in space with the expectation that players are just gonna, I'm just gonna leapfrog that. I
I'm literally
have no
just
interest.
crunching over.
But it was fantastic.
I'm gonna be
I think,
honest,
as a player,
I have not listened
seeing
to
the
anything
world,
that they're saying.
From that
And I'm
view,
sure none of you guys have too.
really
But
gave me this
you know.
sense of awe and inspiration, and wanted to explore
I
over and over
mean-
and over again.
Right on. So, going into Wrath of the Lich King, we now have a sense that this game receives
yeah, like I'm
expansions.
so excited
It
that I
is
just
going
can't
to
hear anything
continue
from them.
to
Like my ears
grow
are
and
ringing from
evolve
excitement, you know?
for who knows how long. Tell us a little bit about what it was like finding new things to
I can share my
implement to
notes
the
if you need.
game
Wait, thank
and
you
realizing
so
how
much,
new
actually.
technologies would allow us to do more in WoW.
About the guy who sent this,
Mac, after we had
sent her this
built
sponsor, I'd be
Classic
searching
and
for a new
Burning
job.
Crusade, I think one of the things we
Listen, they don't
self-reflected on the
care
most is
about what
the
you
world didn't
say.
change
They
with you,
just care that people are
you
watching
could
it, or like
do these awesome things, kill dragons,
other people are like
unite
watching
peoples and whatnot. But
basically.
the
It's
world always
literally
stayed this static, and
exposure,
that was
guys.
necessary because everybody's living in the
They
same
don't
world.
freaking
and
care
and
what
the
I
world
say,
can't change for you, but
as
not
long
for
as they
them.
don't say like
So we wanted to build
obviously
tech to be able to do that, and we built something
bad
called phasing,
things, but like
which is something which, if you're not familiar, I think a lot of you, if you've played World of Warcraft, might be. But this is basically one player can do something, and then the world will change. As part of a storyline, Booty Bay might
say
come under
something
siege by
unhinged.
pirates.
Wait,
and that
why do you
player
say
sees
Booty
Bay under siege
Bay?
by pirates, but other people
Wait,
who
Booty
haven't completed
Bay-
that storyline don't.
I remember that guy
And,
from freaking.
and this is a really useful technology, but it's also
Hearthstone.
it's something we actually continue to
was
work with today. And,
It was
and
like
have,
a
have
troll
developed,
guy.
Better tech for in later
Booty Bay
expansions.
something.
Yeah, we use phasing an awful lot because it's really effective for showing progression. Individual player progression, as well as times when we're using
He has a taunt, I
big
remember.
group thing that's happening, and we want you to see a specific thing. So it controls the visibility of what you can see, but it has some issues with it also that we have to consider when
It's
we're
a town in
designing,
WoW, yeah.
because unfortunately you might not see your friend, and so
This
you
is
say,
how-
hey, I'll meet you at the such and such place, and then your friend
talk about
you
nothing-
don't see them,
But
and they
let's
don't
be
see the
real
same
here,
thing you
most
see.
people
so we say, oh, I'm
don't
standing
talk
over
about
by
what's
the big
related to the
ogre. They
restream.
say, what big ogre?
You just start yapping about something really
one
random.
of the downsides of phasing is that it separates people.
'Cause if-
it makes it such that
if people wanted to
it may
hear
look
about
like someplace
what was
is,
being
is empty
restreamed, they
when
would
it's
literally
actually
just
full
watch
of other
the
people,
original
but they're in
stream.
another phase. So now we're very careful when we phase, when we choose to phase, and also we have implemented party sync.
Unless
if you're
they're
not familiar with it or
extremely
you haven't
good
tried it,
eggs,
you want to
you know
help
what
your
I
friend
mean?
who's maybe behind you in the story.
Like
You
people who
party
are, like,
sync
down
up, and
to,
now
like,
you'll
the,
see the
I
same
gotta do
things
this.
that they're seeing. So
I feel like
very,
most people are
very
like,
useful
whatever,
tool, but
man.
also can be detrimental to that feeling of being in a world if you're too separated from other people.
Yeah, I'll say we phased a lot of.
White Super's team
of that
lost their
when
first-
It came out in Lich King
Uh-oh.
because it was a new tool and we were figuring it out.
What's
and then as we
happening?
sort of progressed, realized that okay, phasing is a story sledgehammer. It is super powerful for telling story, having the world change around you, but that doesn't come without consequences. And this has been sort of a repeated pattern, I think,
what
as
is
you
going
see
on?
designers on
What
the
happened?
team
I thought you were
excited
so
about
engrossed
new
by the panel.
technology.
I just
They
looked
implement
over,
it
you
in the
know.
first, sometimes the scrappy way, and then we'll iterate it over time.
Gave us the water slide in Grizzly Hills.
That's right. Yeah.
What could be better? So the biggest phasing that I can think of that came along was actually done by Deathwing himself.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Sorry, I'm
a
literally just
major
watching and I'm
change
just like,
to
I
the
was just
landscape.
seeing what they had.
Tell us about that.
See.
Yeah, so I think this is continuing this line of
said
thought. If we want to
Jeremy?
see the world changing, the big idea
Oh,
for
girl.
Cataclysm was, what if we changed everything?
Yeah,
What if
Super
when
should be
Deathwing
watching
came out of
PAX
the
instead
Earth,
of playing this tournament.
it
Thoughts?
changed so much that entire quest lines changed, entire zones changed. The tops of the mountains in Badlands are sheared off, and the Barrens is split into two with a big
So true.
river of lava in the middle, and so on. And along with that, the quest lines changed. If you go to a lot of those
the 21 months
Cataclysm-affected
not
zones,
average
you'll see the
movie.
story is Deathwing just came out of the Earth. We learned a lot of lessons in doing that. One, it was
Playing in a tournament organized by
a lot
Tesla
of work
supporter,
to do
kind of weird.
to rebuild all those zones, and a lot of
Girl,
them
the
were
strike.
done really quickly. Again, I mentioned scrappily before. We did built those zones really quickly, but also
Wait, but think of
some
it in this
players
way:
weren't
taking money
as happy
from
about the changes.
a Tesla
The changes
supporter.
we made to zones were done with good
Kinda
intentions of
basic?
looking at classic quest lines and saying these don't really match our philosophies anymore. Sometimes a quest might send you all the way to another zone, and then you come back, and then you get 15 silver and nothing else, and that's it. And so we wanted to build quests
Speaking
that
of
are more
Tesla,
in
that
the,
reminds
in,
me-
at the time the modern
Was it
sensibility
Daft?
of, like
I don't
let's
remember
build
who
these
it was.
campaigns into storylines that have beginnings, middles,
It was
and
either
ends.
like
and you
Daff
see
or
that with the
Super or
Cataclysm-affected
someone.
zones.
They told me like
For players who were disappointed by that,
they
and,
saw
and
a
saw
tweet
like,
of
well,
someone
I
like
kinda
just-
can't go back to before. I can't.
they
play
just
the
like
classic
took
as I
their
remember.
pants off
I
and
think
they
this
just
was one
like
of those instigating
freaking
moments
wiped
which
their
ended up
butt on
having
a
us make
Tesla.
WoW Classic. So you
Random
can go back and
Tesla
you can play
that-
WoW Classic in the
They-
way that you
God, I
remember it.
forgot who it was,
And a lot of
but they
players,
told
I'm
me
sure
they
many of
saw.
yourselves included,
God, it had to be like
do
Daff or
prefer to play
something.
that way,
And I
it's
was
great
like,
that you
what
can.
the frick?
It seems
People
like
just be
Mists of
doing that out there?
Pandaria is also a little reflective of what you were just talking about.
I mean, I
There's
guess.
there's a condensation of everything.
Base
when
drive
you talk
beer?
to players about
I was like,
their
girl.
memories of Mists of Pandaria, it's very cozy, it's very tight-knit.
People
and
did be
that,
doing
that
a lot
feels
more.
to me like
Yeah.
that was the intention of the design team. What do you think?
I totally agree. Yeah, I would say that.
God, I've been
Mist
seeing
is sort of where
so
things
many
started to
Cybertrucks
coalesce a
here,
little
though.
bit,
It's
that they started
disgusting.
to like we
Like, if I go out,
started playing
I'll
with
at
the
least
tools
see
that we
one
had
and
been
they're just
working
so
with the
ugly.
daily quests and weeklies and phasing
They're just so
and learning
they're
those
just like a
lessons,
sore
taking
for the eye.
the
It's
big
just
experiments and building
awful.
them a little bit more in a considered way. That living world of Mists of Pandaria really felt like it was there. That the daily quests that
Why
you
would
were
anyone
doing
buy-
weren't
I
always
don't
going to the same
know.
place.
They're-
that
they're
you could
so
be
awful.
going to the Celestial Temple in the north
So-
one day
and
and
then
the south
most
the
of them
other
have,
day,
like,
or
a
you could be
wrap
helping out
around
the
them,
Shadow
and it
Pen with
looks
something
worse.
based on your actual playing your class and fighting. But another time you might be helping the anglers or the tillers of Half Hill and like doing something which is a little bit more domestic.
They're not
and
even
maybe
qual-
that-
do
you
they have
know, sort of
truck
the
nuts?
early
No,
stages
I
of
was
what
thinking
ended
that
up
they
becoming
should put
housing, or
truck
at least
nuts on
those,
it.
that style of playing WoW, I
But,
could very much
no.
see a connection from that to what we're looking at doing in Midnight.
It's the farm is. One
I'd
of the
wipe
greatest
my
things
butt
that's
on a
ever been in WoW.
Cybertruck.
That's what
I mean,
what
it-
I'm saying.
yeah,
The
that's probably
farm
good use
was
of it, I'm not gonna
simply
lie.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thinking of that just
So,
reminds me back
this
to
takes
like
us to
when
one
me and
of
Arya.
the biggest steps that WoW ever took.
I went with Arya
in
to the McDonald's
Legion.
because she needed to use the
The
bathroom.
Updates to
And then someone just
world
had like a
content
random
and
gigantic
endgame
poop next to the
content.
toilet and
With
not in the
these
door.
things, new life was breathed into this world.
That
What
is
was
a
the
mystery in
development
itself.
approach going into Legion?
So,
I'm
like
not
Paul was
kidding you,
mentioning, I
that
think by
poop
the time
was
we got to Mists of
probably, like-
Pandaria, it was feeling like we had.
I mean,
a
I don't
really
think it's humanly
well-polished
possible
version
to
of a
poop
lot of the
that
core
large.
elements of
Like-
World of Warcraft. You had cool rare
It-
spawns popping up. You had fun dungeons.
Like
and
there's
raids,
just
you had the
no
introduction
way
of
it came
challenge
out of a
mode
human.
to help
That's all I
continue
have
to
to
challenge
say.
that audience,
Maybe
so the
like
team is
someone
still
brought in their
experimenting and doing
horse
fun
to the
stuff in that space.
bathroom and
You
just
have
had
the
it
cozy farm,
poop
like
there
you
or
mentioned.
something.
We have also gone back to, as we
Oh,
developed
you have no
future
idea.
expansions,
No,
the
no, no, no.
original
It was
design
like
documents for the
it was
reputations
insane.
of Mists of Pandaria.
Like it was
because
it was
it had
crazy.
one of the like coolest breakdowns of like originally prior to any
Good
work being
afternoon,
done
Glorp
of
arrived.
how the reputation, what their
Was it
vibe
the si-
would be,
yeah, it was
what they
like
would
the
be
size-
all about.
no.
So you'd have this cool, what was now kind of an ancient
It was
Microsoft
like
Word
freaking-
document with weird formatting.
Like, I'm not
that was
kidding
like
you,
the
it looked like it was
tillers,
from, like,
and
a
they're all
freaking-
about these
like a
particular
horse or a
professions,
cow.
and this is what their whole vibe is, and here's where
Like,
they
it was
live. And when we went
gigantic.
back in future expansions like Dragonflight, that was one of the
And
things
I've
we
been
looked
on
back was
farms.
that document
So,
when
like-
we were designing Renown. So if you consider MOP kind of the end of Era 1, where a lot of that core WoW
I have-
stuff
I
is
have,
feeling
like, a
pretty
good
good and pretty
idea.
polished, The next step for us was
Like, I went
look
to-
across the whole world and see
I went
what
to
other
Alveus
new
recently
potential
too,
areas do
you
we
know?
have to explore. What other experiments can we do? One of those areas was, like you mentioned, was world quests. We wanted to get out of that space of everything
Alveus
is
is
on
so freaking
specific
cool.
timers
Maya's so
and has
freaking cool.
specific rewards, and it's always the same because
Yeah, 'cause
that
I was
starting
waiting
to feel like, hey,
outside
it's
the
always feeling
bathroom,
daily,
you know?
it's always feeling
But then
weekly,
I
it's
was like,
starting to feel a
dude,
little
you
bit
have
like
to
a
come in
chore.
here. And I was like,
What
what?
if instead the world
like,
itself
is
started to
something wrong?
populate a
And I
lot
was
of the
like, oh.
content, and not only that, but then the reputation and the rewards would be slightly different on a weekly basis. And let's get out of the space of things happening every
Okay.
day, and
I
instead have
finished
things
my
happen every
food.
4 hours,
Yippee!
and 6 hours, and 3.5
Is this impressive?
days.
Eating
and
a
really kind of
salad
mess with
clean
expectations
without
in a
any
way that
dressing
made
on?
the
Is
world
that,
really
like,
feel
weird behavior?
significantly more
I mean, there's a
alive.
lot of
And
bacon
then
in it.
you start layering all of the many systems of Legion on top of that, and how they can add a little bit of that
Clappy.
randomness and a little bit of that spice to your day. For example,
Psychopathic
adding
behavior?
the emissary system, where you
Nah.
not only could do a whole bunch of world quests and get an awesome reward, and potentially get a legendary from it as well, and that would completely change up what your week was going to be like. But also, we came up with this concept that we were calling capacitance at the time, where you didn't have to log in and do all of your emissaries every time they were up, or all of your world quests every time they were up. They would start to build up over time, which is another way for us to make it feel like, hey, the world is changing when you're not there, so that when you log in, it's going to feel significantly different. And then, of course, the team, throughout this time is also experimenting with tons of new content. This was our first time really taking a foray into special secret content and having this extra layer of what was, we tried to make undata mineable, and that was a real back and forth with the community for quite some time. But exactly how do we hide secret content when they know everything about our game? But with all the secrets of Azeroth that we included in, like, the Lucid Nightmare puzzle, or the Cosmoth the Hunger Ring.
Cute.
What was the first secret?
The very first secret, the very first secret we did in kind of the modern Legion era, this might have actually preceded Legion. It had this idea for, what if we just hid something? Something off in some corner, right?
Can I get a high
So we
five?
added this little Murloc egg,
Yay, thank you.
which was in Northrend,
Good
and it's in a
puppy.
cave.
I remember. It's like you have to go out in the ocean
What a
south
good
of
The ocean,
Northrend.
nobody would go out there. So
So
my thought process
cute.
at the time was like, yeah, just stick this in.
So
Like, it's cool. Like, nobody will know there's this thing out there. If you go to the
I
pet
feel
journal,
like-
it says this
what is
exists.
Vino mix-up?
And that started, the forum
Apparently
threads
she's
that were like, does
mostly
anybody know where to
Australian
get
cattle
this pet?
dog,
This seems like
but
a cool
honestly,
pet. It's a
she
Murloc.
seems more of
And
like
the community
a pit
found
bull
it.
to me. Like, if
And
you
then there
look
was
at
this
her,
neat
like,
article about it. And then there was
just,
forum
like, what
posts
she
about it.
looks like,
And suddenly
she
there's
looks
this
more- like,
interest
at least her
in,
face
hey, the
and her,
devs
like,
are actually able to add stuff we don't
and
know
the
about.
wrinkles that she
And
gets
then, of
on
course,
her
that got
head
me
when she,
thinking, yeah, well,
She reminds me
neat.
more of a
Like,
pit
how do
bull
I
than,
do
like,
more
a
of
cattle
this?
dog, but like I guess her spots
A couple of
and
months
stuff.
ago, I was asked to summarize
She's
the
not
WoW
like,
community
because cattle
on
dogs are like
Discord,
really,
and it was
like,
so fun
sturdy
to go
built.
look at the different discords. And
But
the
Binu-
secret
Binu's more,
finding
like,
Discord
skinny,
is huge, and they're
She's
so
kinda
energetic,
slim.
and they're having so much. Even when they're not
Her
working on a
body
secret,
key.
they're having so much fun. Something else in Legion, which I feel like ties back to this personal, cozy
Skinny
approach,
queen? Oh,
like
she
we
ate?
saw in the
Oh,
Hatfield
she
Farm.
ate?
Class
this.
halls. The
She
team
looks like an
somehow made
alien.
a dozen class halls, and they were different. They weren't just the same thing for a different class with some different colors. Tell me about that.
You say somehow,
Sits
and
in my
that's
ear.
good production process.
Why are we watching one right now?
That is how.
Check the
From my
hashtag
perspective, it looks like
sponsored in the
magic.
title.
That's how you make
Healers
30
are
plus
good dogs.
artifact lines
She
at the
is
same
such
time.
a like
30 plus.
Velcro
Well, I
dog.
think that gets back to what
She's
Paul was
so
talking
cute,
about
though.
how to make the world feel like
But
it's a
she-
living space, right?
she's
And there's a
very,
couple of different
like-
ways I think that Artifact accomplished that. One of them was we
She's
couldn't
very
cram all
vocal.
the Artifact quest lines just into
She's
the
very
Broken
vocal
Isles
and she
because
wants a
there
lot
was a
of
lot of Artifact
attention.
quest lines,
And
and
she
somebody would have had their Artifact quest line just hanging out with Murlocs up in a
Well,
corner.
I
like
guess
there
I'm
just
not
wasn't
allowed to
enough
sit.
space.
Look at- she just
So the
flops
team had this
herself
idea
down
of like,
in
hey,
the
let's go
chair.
back to all of these
I'll
older
just
spaces in World of
do this
Warcraft
and
and not cataclysm them all,
I'll just-
but
I'll just-
revisit
just
some of
sit
the
right here.
storylines of things like Subchapel
I'll
and
just
some of our
stand.
favorite characters back then. And this is sort of a new way for the team to think about
I'm not
reusing
allowed
a
to
lot
sit
of
down,
those older
so-
spaces in a new way that told the next chapter of their
I'll just-
storyline. And
I'll
that
just be
changed up
down here,
dozens
you know?
of the areas of older
Will
World
you
of
get the
Warcraft.
chair?
But then, like you mentioned,
And
there's
I
also the
here.
idea that, hey, we're going more in depth into
She
what your
deserves
class
that seat.
is and who they hang out with.
Real
and who
high
their
reveal.
minions
Okay,
are,
no,
and what their
I'm
whole
not.
vibe is. And
See,
the
I
class
am
halls,
taller
I think,
than my
accomplished
chair,
that
by
really
the way.
well in a way that we hadn't ever
And
gone into
Vinu
in
is
World of
not
Warcraft
like
before. You had some
can't
class
say
quests
this because
prior to
Vinu's
this.
also in the
There really
Friends.
was
You
no
can't say
idea
my chair is
of
like
this is your
1
space,
inch tall,
and you're going to
right?
hang out with other
So-
mages, and you're going to do mage stuff. I play a mage. So, and that's going
I'm
to be
not
cool and awesome.
standing
You're going
on
to get a
a
special set
crate.
for it, and you're going to get your own minions for it and everything. Like, we
That
really
chair
went
is
deep
pushed
into
back?
that lore of each
No, it's
individual
not. It's
class that I think
literally- it's literally
helped make each
upright.
class feel deeper in the overall world as well.
It made the world
Dog
feel
for
more
model?
alive too,
Yeah.
because like if you were
I'm
a
not on
mage
my
and you saw someone else who's doing other
tippy-toes.
priest stuff and someone else is
Hippo
doing
is
other warrior
not
stuff, it makes the
taller.
world feel bigger. It makes the world feel like it's not just on rails for
Just
everybody,
say
but
you
you
guys
have
are
your own
freaking jealous
adventure
of
that
my
you're going on
big
through.
And you
I
get to
thought.
do that stuff.
stature.
Yeah,
It's
you got to
fine.
see
I
somebody else
know.
doing something crazy and being like, "What are they doing?"
I'm
Now
sorry,
I wanna
we
play
have
a
proof that
warlock.
you're 4
Yeah,
foot.
exactly.
Where?
Did win pass.
Where? Literally
I
where?
never thought of playing a warrior until I saw how they exited their class hall.
It's fine to be. I'm literally
Very,
not 4
very
foot
exciting.
though. Right
And
here.
I got a
That's
fishing
not
pole.
even me, by the
The
way.
underlight angler, that's right.
Like,
Yes,
that
who
is
do I have to
just-
thank for that?
But the professions
I
team.
confirm
Okay.
you to be
Well,
5'1",
the
no
professions
joke.
team.
Yes.
No.
But it's just a
Arya
very
did not
interesting
tower
thing
over
that
me.
it wasn't a conclusion when
Hello,
the
Sad Drive.
artifacts were
Hello,
all
V-
made
Vino,
and
say
working
hi to
and
Sad Drive.
implemented that we could still
Vino.
do something
like
more.
sniffing me.
Have that artifact fishing pole and give players a reason to come together so much as they did in Legion. So now that we've had some time to reflect on it, Dragonflight really represents a major
Look
turning
at her.
point
She's
for
so
World of Warcraft.
cute. Vino, look.
Tell us about some of the big
the-
additions in
Look
Dragonflight.
at the screen.
Sure, yeah, I'm happy to speak about
look at the
Dragonflight.
camera.
I quite love it. So we were given.
She's such a big girl
enormous
now.
maps.
Remember when I
So
first
the,
had
the
her?
world building team
She's
just made
literally
these,
probably the
these
size of her own
massive,
head.
massive maps
Her whole
for us,
body.
and it fit really
Now
well with our
she's- now
themes,
she's a
which
large
was
gal.
primarily
Oh, you're
about
so
discovery and
cute.
exploration. We're
You're so
returning to the
cute.
homeland of the dragons. We need to look everywhere and find all
Yeah,
the
she used to be
things.
smaller than
And
Yuzu
this
in the
led us
bee outfit.
to
She was so
this
freaking
this
cute.
decision to
Yeah, she has
build
socks.
a lot of smaller activities that you
Look at
could
this
find
round
in nooks
skull
and
of hers.
crannies. We hid things everywhere. So those could be things like you
So
fly to the super
wrinkly.
high peak and
She got so many
plant a
wrinkles
banner
up
for the
here,
Dragon
especially
Scale
when her
expedition.
ears perk up, she got giga
or
wrinkles.
you
Let me see if I
you
can
see
make her
some
ears
loose
perk up.
dirt, and so you use a shovel and dig there, and oh, you got something cool. So small things like that, but bigger things too. For example, you could go
She just
hunting with the
loves- she
centaur of
just
the
loves-
Onaran Plains and
There
sort
are
of see what their
wisdom
culture
wrinkles?
was
Yeah,
and
she just
learn
loves
more
that.
about how they valued their
Chillin'.
hunting dogs and their hunting hawks, right?
Dina, are you excited about the WoW
but
panel? I don't
the
have
one
my
that most
earbuds
people
in
talk
anyway.
about most of the
No. Can
time,
you
of
listen
course, is
for me
making
with your
soup with the Tuskar.
big
And
old
I'm gonna
ears?
turn that over to the chef here,
I don't have any food for
and
her
he
to
can
steal,
explain
so.
what he did.
But if there
first,
was
can I get a
food
yes,
for her to
chef, from the
steal, she'd
audience?
probably think about it, yeah.
All right, thank you.
She loves her food.
So it was lucky to
Oh.
be asked to work on the folks who were building the community feast event, which is what we sort of call Tuskar Soup informally. The directions here was, we'd been working with the culture of the Ascara for a while, or the team who'd been building the story of the Azure Span had, and they had an idea of what the
Vito,
fantasy
you
was
wanna
here.
be
They
on
said,
the
we want a
WoW
big event where
panel?
you make soup. And
She's like,
we had a couple early designs, but like the idea we got most excited
I'll let the
about was this
professionals
character
handle
who
it.
sat at the pot and was giving everybody
Yeah.
different directions of, you go get salt, and you go get one kind of fish, and you get another kind of fish, and you come over here and help stir the pot. And the way we were
So freaking
able to implement
cute.
that was scenarios. Scenarios is some tech that we have to sort of tell a shared story in the outdoor world. Usually it's sort of a long
Lit.
linear story or a multi-stage linear story. But again, being scrappy and using the tools that we had available, we said, what if we made 60 different scenarios though? And then the fish
like-
one was one scenario,
like,
and this
went
fish
to,
one was a
like,
different one, and
nibble
stirring
on
the
my
pot was
hand,
a
and then she
third.
just
And
yawns,
then
and
some scripts
she does,
behind
like,
the scene
this
were saying,
weird
make
thing
sure
where
we
she,
don't
like-
give two people the same one
Sometimes
and
she'll
mix
just
it
start,
around.
like,
And it
biting her
worked,
own
and it was
foot
fun. It
for
was a
no
different
reason, but
sort
not,
of
like,
way of
bite.
playing. It was
She
a little
just
bit
kinda, like,
hectic,
has it in
and
her mouth
players
and,
were
like,
encouraged to have big groups because the
girl,
bigger group that you
what
had,
are we
the
doing over
the better
here?
the soup was, the closer it got to getting to legendary quality. Of course, that also came with like a couple
Hey.
early bugs we worked out early on,
She's
but
sniffing
that
on
sort
the
of
floor. It's not
proof
good
of
for her to
concept
eat.
was something we built later on into scenarios where we can make multi-step scenarios, which is one single scenario which can have different people on different steps, and that's tech that we used for later iterations of the same style of gameplay,
Sometimes
like
you
you
just
see
gotta
in Time Rifts
Yeah,
or in the theater troupe that
Wait,
that's currently going on at
Dragonflight.
Islandorn right now.
Yeah, I went and got my supervisor
Evolved public
title right
events,
away. That was
expanded
really
events,
important to me
secrets,
that
and
I had
early
supervisor.
communication
Yeah.
chills.
Yeah. Well, also with these giant maps, it seemed important to us that we do some stuff with flying. So we brought about
Wait,
the
there's a dog!
dynamic flight, then called dragon riding, now called sky riding. And
Chills
this
warding
gave us
on
the
this
ability
slide.
to add momentum and moment-to-moment
In
gameplay
parentheses,
to
none of us
traversing
are
our
actually really
world,
paying
which was
attention to
quite
what's
large.
going on.
And so that extra speed was very useful, very helpful to players as they were exploring the nooks and crannies and trying to find the cool secrets that were hidden. And there were some things to learn there too.
They've been on the slide for 50
some
minutes.
players, turns
Really?
out, get sick if they have to deal with momentum. The motion sickness was
Did anyone see the new
problematic
Guilty
for
Gear
a
character
number of our
named
players,
Leap?
so we
It's
looked
muck
at
backwards?
accessibility
No, the
options.
frick it's
We're
not.
trying really hard to look at accessibility
False
and
news?
make sure that all the players can play. So our first effort was, of course, you could ride along with a friend. You could just be a little cute little hatchling. And
Holy
you would fly along with
Yappertown
your
Gulp
friend. You didn't even
sorry
have to
ad.
look.
I mean,
And that way
they're
there
just
was none of that
yapping for the. I mean,
going on, right?
they literally paid to
also in questing, we
be
had
here,
quests
you know.
where we
So
needed you
they're
to
getting the
maneuver in
most yap
particular
they can
ways
out
that
of
might
this
make you
segment.
ill, and so we had alternate
I
versions
guess.
where you could say, you know what, why don't you do the flying for me, and I'm just gonna, step
Who
away
the frick
for a
cares
minute
about
or
Guilty
something.
Gear?
So
You know,
we
I
were
don't
looking at
care
that as
about
well,
Guilty Gear, but I like the
this
characters from Guilty
ability to
Gear. I like their
build,
character designs.
quests
I could
with
care.
this flight method in
I could care
mind
less about
meant
like
that
how
we
the
could
game
end
is,
objectives
but
way up high, and then you would have this amazing
the character
swoop
designs are good
as
from
you
Guilty Gear.
went to the next objective. It meant that we knew that you wouldn't necessarily battle things in between, so we had to make sure that when you arrived at your next destination, there was something cool to do there. You weren't essentially skipping the content. But it also let us make new kinds
It's a
of
fun
quests,
game, except
quests where you
ranked?
could do the races and,
Oh,
and
dear.
go on a crazy race through the sky and try to beat the timer. And
Friday is
we could
sponsored.
do
Yeah,
ones where
every
you
Friday
banged
is
into things,
sponsored.
and we could move it
Hashtag
into
sponsor
dungeons.
Fridays.
We could
I'm
use it in
kidding.
raids. So it was a new opportunity for us. A new
Rank
type of
experience so
quest,
awful in Guilty
in
Gear,
addition to just
but
being
isn't
really
like every
fun.
ranked
And since you
experience in
talked
every
about
fighting
flying
game just
before,
awful?
Why don't you tell me
Like-
about how
like
it felt
it-
now?
I feel like every time I hear anyone talk
no, I
about
think
ranked
per
fighting
the
games,
panel,
they all
evolved
say the
your
ranking
relationship to the
system
world
or
in
like
a very
matchmaking is
unexpected way.
awful.
Um,
Hello,
you know,
Miss
jumping off
Huge!
Valdrakken
I'm so excited for
and,
the
you know,
early
soaring down the side of the
communication
cliff,
involving
hitting the river, and then
Dragonflight.
just skimming off of
Oh
it, going through
yeah.
the canyons, was really invigorating. But at the same time, it was very, very peaceful. I was like in the world. The wind is going by my hair, and I got to appreciate once
hope
again
you're doing
a
well,
different
Miss
view of
Huge.
Azeroth.
I hope
Being able to
hope
feel
school is not too crazy
that way
for
about
ya.
a game, I think is really why we play
Look at
and
those
make
cutting
games.
edge graphics. Wait, Chills
emotional as
warning.
they talk
Cutting
about
edge is
now.
also the
I
term
think
used
it was
if
a
you're like,
fantastic
you
addition.
know. Chills warning on that
I want
one.
to throw in.
You hate school?
This sort of changed the way that I
No!
play zones now as well.
I'm
Before I
sorry.
would
When
kind
do you
of-
get
I'm
to
a
be on
quester. I love
break?
playing through the
Too
questing
old
story,
for
but
this for
now that we have those
real.
skyrunning glyphs, anytime I get to a
Honestly,
new zone,
yeah.
I got to imagine I'm not the only one. The first thing I do is like I gotta go.
They're changing
explore
the
this
Guilty
whole
Gear
place
rank
and see if I
system
can
though.
find
What
all
are they
these things.
changing about
And
it?
then I'll go to the story afterwards. But like it sort of changes
June
your,
Wait,
your
that's
relationship with the world.
6'4", just like
How
your
did
height.
skywriting
Yes,
affect,
ma'am.
the
I've
secret
literally
building?
seen Yuge in real life, and she's actually 6'4".
Well, secret building has always been about the best way to hide things in plain sight. So
She typoed
it certainly
4'6".
made it faster
No,
for the
Yuge
community
is
to
literally
get from point A
6'4".
to point B around the world.
Do all
But
women
many
lie?
secrets are 5 or
No,
6 layers deeper
Yuge would
than
never
just getting
lie.
between
You know,
point A
Yuge
and
is
point B
literally the
right
worst
now. That
liar
was
in
the
the
original
world.
design between with some
Like,
of
she
those
can't
original
lie in
Chronicle
Among
secrets,
Us.
though, was the idea that
And if you
hey,
call
it would
her
be
out for
difficult
lying,
for
she'll
the
cry.
community to find these things that are hidden in 6 spots around 20 years of game.
You
world.
believe it? Yeah.
have a
She's
community
like, oh
that
god,
large
I'm
looking for
freaking
secrets,
sorry.
it
I
is not
just, I
difficult.
can't. But I'm the imposter Among
Sure,
Us.
but did you
Dude,
ever
I'm not.
get the sense
I
that
was
a
asked to
secret
play
was
Among
a
Us
little too
3D
secret?
by Ellum,
I think
like
if there was one
a
that
couple
was a
days
little bit
ago,
too
and I was like,
hard,
girl,
it
I don't have a
probably
VR
the
headset. And he's like, it's not
Jennifer
VR though, and I was like, yeah, the
because
game's gonna
the
give me motion
mental
sickness,
leap
so I
you had to
can't.
take between what was shown in game.
Also, I don't
and
like
the puzzle
I
in
don't
the
like
head of the
Among Us lobbies
designer
where I know everyone
was,
because it's too
enough to
overwhelming.
keep them busy for 11 months.
There's too
11
many
months.
voices.
11 months.
Or well, I guess it
I don't-
depends
I
on the
don't
people
remember
that are
being
in the
that long.
lobby, but
Wow.
some
So less than a year.
some people people just talk like
They made
That's
it.
pretty good. That's
it's like overstimulating.
I want to talk. I want to talk a little bit about.
But I do feel like it giving
roadmaps,
mild motion
because
sickness. Yeah.
As both a player and part of a communications team.
Why do I say it? What do you
roadmaps
mean? Why do I
really
say it like
help
that?
me. They speak to me. From a design perspective, what do roadmaps allow us to do? This is the time frame when we're starting to be able to really predict for the players what's coming over the next year.
Yeah, I can actually hear the emotion in your voice as
Yes.
a community manager liking
Yes.
roadmaps.
Yes, I do.
Well, of course, we committed to a cadence, and we committed to
Should I move
specific things
myself? I'm
happening
like
in those cadence.
blocking out
at
the
that cadence,
people.
sorry. And you know, by presenting
New
this, we gave
slide,
hints and tips,
Wait, maybe I
allowed
should
for a
put
lot of
myself bottom
speculation.
right.
But
I just
what
got
we promised
freaking
was
chills.
that we would deliver in
Go
a steady
back?
way.
Wait, why?
Right?
You
It
don't-
was
you
a
guys don't wanna see the
predictable
people?
release, steady way on PTR when expected, and I'm very proud that we've held to that. We've hit
Am I
it
prohibited
every
from-
time. So
Well,
super
I
proud of
don't. I
us
don't
for that.
think they care about my
For the
camera
story,
placement, but
it's
I'm
been
just gonna,
wonderful. I too
leave it
am
up
a
there.
fan because it allows.
I mean, I
us
could
to
cover
plot
the
out
the
and
ads on the
figure
top
out
right.
What's going to happen? So for something
top
like
left.
the World Soul Saga,
I mean, I could
where we
literally
have
just.
a lot of story to tell over
I mean, I
a
can
lengthy
put myself
period of
anywhere.
time.
I could put myself
We
here.
can build out. We actually have a
I could
Miro,
pretend like
which
I'm
is
the
a tool
panel,
we use
like
to
this.
basically map out everything and move things around. And it's like,
Or I
you know,
could
who's
be,
going to
like,
die
here.
next? And this is great, right? I'm going to have a good time with this. No, we don't do the dying. Well, we do the dying a little, but. Yeah, so we can move things around, figure out like what we want to have happen,
World of
where
Warcraft,
and
am I
why,
right?
and how that all ties into the
Wait,
story.
guys, I
It
didn't
gives us
even
great
notice.
opportunity to
Wait,
pace
time
things
flies when
and
you're
ramp
talking about
things
such a
up. We
cool
get to make
thing
prologues
because
for
it's
things
already
and
40
epilogues
minutes
for other
in here.
things. Kieran Tor
Honestly,
epilogue,
I
for
thought it'd be like
example,
20 minutes.
We were really looking forward to getting
Guys,
in there.
20 minutes
So
left on
this
this panel. I
steady
can't
cadence helps us
freaking
as well
believe it.
because it
Honestly,
helps
I'm
us think
freaking-
through
I'm
very
freaking
carefully
heartbroken.
where we want to place things, and yeah, I like it too.
Good. Anything else on that?
Yeah, no, yeah, we're good.
Why does their
Probably the
roadmap say
biggest turning point
2023?
in
Well,
the
yeah, because
history of WoW
Dragonflight,
was
because
when Chris
Dragonflight was
Metzen
a while
at
back.
BlizzCon 2023 announced the World Soul Saga. Take me back to the concepting and the iteration that led up to that.
Yeah, I think Chris has mentioned it before, but
The sponsorship manager's gonna love watching back on this one. I don't think they even look back at it. They just see that I followed the rules and they're like, ain't no way they're VOD reviewing my
a
thing.
big story in mind. And
They're not paid
his
enough to
thinking
do
was,
that.
It's just too big. It's never going to fit in one expansion. Let's really bring back all the people they expect to see. It's the 20th anniversary. We got to knock it out of the park. Let's do a trilogy. And we all went, a trilogy? Huh. All right.
Now you're gonna get it put on a list. I
Let's see what
mean,
that
hey,
looks
if it
like.
happens,
and
then
like
it
I said,
happens.
We pulled out our sharing tool and started putting stickies all over.
I
and
mean,
like,
I wouldn't
yeah,
be
this good work.
like if
This'll
it
be
happened,
good.
then I'd be
Yeah,
like,
we can
all
bring back
right.
all sorts of people.
I wouldn't freaking like
spoilers ish.
Yes,
you know, slam my fist against the desk and be like,
we
oh
can really
my
build this up
god,
into
what the
something to
frick?
celebrate. You know, this bringing the final sort of like what happens with all of these people's threads and what's going on.
Wait, I
and
had a
just
friend.
really,
I can't disclose like
doing
the
20 years
specific
justice.
details because
So,
I don't know about
it was
what happened.
initially a
But
little bit
I
like,
had a
"Ooh,
friend
that sounds like a
that had
lot."
a sponsor,
But then-
and their
but
sponsor
then,
got
yeah, I
mad
mean, we're working on all
for
three of
them
them
doing
simultaneously. We
exactly
have- we
what
have
they were
teams
told to
working on all of
do.
them.
And then they were like, "You were
I
playing through the game too fast, and it
played
seemed like you
through
weren't
second
like
passes
doing the
of the
dialogue or
campaign for
whatever."
Midnight,
And
so,
it's like, wait, what?
We're doing great.
They
which is
literally did everything that they were
so,
asked, but then the
a
sponsor
ways
was
to go
like
yet, I'm
very
afraid,
like.
but,
Still a long way to go.
You,
One of the
it
cool
seemed
things
like
about
you didn't
working in
really
a
care
trilogy
about the
like this,
game, and
though,
that you're
is
reading through the
typically you're
dialogue
told
too
to
fast, and
encapsulate
you're
the
going
stories
too
within
fast,
the
progressing
scope
too
of
fast
an
through the
expansion,
game.
which
Like,
is, in
wouldn't
number
you want
0.0,
someone to
number
progress
0.1,
through
number
the
0.2,
game
and
so
sort of has
people
a
could
beginning,
see
middle, and end.
what happens in the
This has
game?
a lot more. There's a lot more places where you can put story, and it means we get to go to a lot more interesting places. We get to go to unexpected places. The very first
But yeah, I'm
version
not
off of,
mentioning
you know,
specifics
the
'cause,
Isle of Dorn, and
I mean,
it's
I don't know if
Khazad
they told
Dara,
the
et cetera, was
story
to
or
go to
not, but
Undermine, and it's exciting
yeah, I
to
was
think
just like,
about where we're going to go next as the stories
okay, that's kind of
dealing around
weird.
the void and the world soul and everything continues to unfold.
And
If you
during
wanted them
this
to take it
development
nice and slow
of
through
the World Soul
through
Saga,
the
team
sponsor, then
has
you might have,
also
you
been
know,
producing
you should have put that in there,
entirely
you
new
know.
ways to get into the living world. What does WoW Remix Mists of Pandaria mean for you?
Well, I mean, to
They
the
worked hard on
point
the
that
dialogue.
Maria was making
No,
about
they
how
didn't.
the roadmap and having
They
this
still, yeah, of
consistent
course they
content
got
cadence
paid.
gives us great opportunities for adding a ton of new story content. Hey, it also gives us
You're
great
too good at our
opportunities for
video
adding a ton of new
game.
interesting experiments,
Take more
which we
time
did
on it
all throughout
now.
Dragonflight. Everything
Sponsors
from
adding you
the
must read all the
revamped
dialogues
Secrets
out
of
loud to the
Azeroth
contract.
to
Oh
the follower
god.
dungeons.
That
Those
sounds
were all little
awful.
experiments that we were doing. And at the end of Dragonflight, we knew we wanted to take a couple of big swings on the experimental side of things. One of them was
Most
experimenting
leveled
with
class by
reusing WoW
role.
content.
Mists of
And this
Pandaria
was
remix.
really,
Wait, I
like,
heard this was
MOP
actually
remix
fun.
was
Or
really
like
the
some people actually
combination
played it, but
of two different
no, I'm
separate
skipping the
ideas that
dialogue.
came
Let's
together
be
like a
honest,
delicious
most
cookie.
people don't even read
One
the
of them
dialogue as the
was,
casual player
hey, can we
anyway.
expand upon time walking? At the time, we were doing things like turbulent timeways for the first time and finding that to be something that people were really enjoying.
Wait, they
And we've
changed the
continued
slide? Yeah,
updating
they did.
turbulent
We're in
timeways ever
jail.
since then. But then we were asking ourselves, what is the most effective way to relive, say, a whole zone? Should we do zone walking?
I can't believe
Or
this
a whole
segment's almost
expansion if
over,
you went
guys.
even
Like,
bigger
this
than that?
sponsor was so freaking
Meanwhile,
awesome.
a bunch of our team members were playing our sister game Diablo
Playing
3,
Disco Elysium
and
without
we're
reading
doing
the
a bunch of
dialogue.
the Diablo 3 seasonal content, and we're saying, hey, can we get something
Oh,
like this Diablo
God.
3 seasons?
I
in
want
WoW?
more.
Something where I feel
Yeah,
like
honestly,
I'm going through
God,
similar
it'd be
content,
so
but with
wonderful if
wildly
this
different
could be
gameplay
extended
and a
like
wildly
another
different
hour,
leveling
but I
scheme.
fear
I'm really
it's,
enjoying
not
leveling up
gonna
my
last
character
that
in this
long.
newest season. So as both of those ideas continued being iterated on,
I see you keep glancing over to your second
eventually
monitor.
they just
Be
kind of
honest,
merged
is it
together
because you
into this
loaded up
great
WoW on it
thing
because
that
it
ended
made
up
you
being
that
MOP
excited?
Remix. Let's go back to Mists of Pandaria.
I mean, you
and we
got
actually
me.
went and
Like,
looked at a
I
bunch of
just
data,
had to
and we
open up the
saw that a bunch
Battle.net
of people
client
hadn't
and
even
start
done Pandaria
installing
that were
World of
currently playing
Warcraft
WoW, so it
again
was also
because
a great
this
opportunity
segment just made me
to get
so
people back to
freaking
a space that they
excited.
had not even back to a space, to get people for the first time to a space that they hadn't done yet, because maybe a bunch of them
I'm
leveled up in
freaking
Dragonflight.
hashtag hooked, as they
But
say.
then also, could we reuse this content in a way that felt different while I was leveling through it?
I
So
freaking
then that
knew
was the
it.
impetus behind all the different itemization.
I'm doing the
infinite
same.
dragon
Wait, I
flight,
have
all the
played
different
WoW
layers
though,
on the
but I
content,
only
the new
played for a
ways
couple
to
of expansions.
acquire the
Well,
loot that
I'm
you
like
got
a
from
more
MOP
newer
Remix.
player because I
You
played
can see some of the
during
interesting factoids up here.
Shadowlands.
Some
That's
of
when
our
I started
favorite leveling
playing.
classes there were
But yeah.
the Death Knight and Priest, and of course Hunter and Paladin.
The
because everybody likes
nostalgia,
playing
it's
Hunter and Paladin.
making me
A bunch of
pre-order.
people made
I
it all
can't
the way to the
control
very
my
end
hand.
and
I just gotta
managed to
click the
kill
button.
a mythic Garrosh.
What is the best race? I
felt
mean,
that
it
MOP
depends
Remix,
on what
was
you want to
a really
play
great
because there's
experiment.
like
It was a great
min-maxing to
opportunity
what
to reuse
what
the
race
older
you
game
want to
in WoW,
play depending
but
on what
also
class
give
you want to
people
play
a
and
chance
what
to do it fresh. And I feel
the
like
thing is.
one of the key parts about
He meant
freshening up a piece of content
IRL.
like this that we learned was that it's really the
All
most
of them.
fun when everybody gets to experience it together, and that's what a remix does. It's not just turning on everything all at the same time and saying, "Hey, go have fun." It's, "Hey, we're going to go through this together again." So it
LFM
it
M
feels
plus
like it's a
10
new
need 2 DPS,
expansion,
1
and
healer
it
plus
feels
have
like
experience in
you're,
specific
progressing
achievements.
with your friends again, and you're all learning about what the most overpowered
Progging
item
or
combinations
one-shotting
are, and finding these new
raid
secrets
boss,
in the game
last
about where do they
raid
put
in
the
the
special
last
drops
boss
and stuff
in the
like
raid.
that. It's a great learning experience for
CE
us, but also we got
lead.
a huge amount of
We'll
positive
check
feedback from
logs.
the community that they
Wait
would love to
list.
see another remix at some point in the future.
Are we ready to talk publicly
Discord,
about
yeah,
some
you gotta
more
add the
remix?
Discord required.
This was going to be a fun panel regardless, but I think it will be an even more fun panel if we get to release a couple of juicy tidbits of information.
Is there a
maybe?
skeleton race? There's no skeleton. There's undead.
So, as many of you have surmised, perhaps because we gave out a couple of hints, or very large hints, that we are going to do another remix. And the next remix we are going to is, of course, the fan favorite expansion, Legion.
Whoa, yippee! Bat chest!
Now, like
No
I mentioned
freaking way, I jumped
earlier,
out of my
Legion
seat.
has a
Yeah, it
lot
looks
of
like I
content. It has
literally
way
jumped
more
back to
content than Mists of
Legion.
Pandaria, and it has a huge amount of
Wait, they
different
didn't
systems.
even drop
So
a
the team
chills
is
warning. They
currently
didn't say
hard at
chills
work
warning
delving
on
deep
this
into
one and
how
said
we're going to integrate
Legion.
all of these systems in a remixed way. Which systems are we going to remix? Which systems are we going to remix and add new things to? Which of all of the different drops that came from all over the place in Legion are going to be accessible via currency? Team is delving into those right now, and we will
God, I'm
have
so
a significantly
hashtag
larger
freaking
info
excited.
dump later that includes a lot of the details about the systems. But we don't want to leave you without at least a couple of interesting, juicy tidbits about the stuff that we're exploring and we're excited
Oh, I
about.
can't
So
wait!
here's two of them. First, Legion is where we first introduced the Mythic Keystone system. And this gives us a great opportunity to expand upon the audiences that we hit with MOP Remix by giving the Mythic Plus audience something to do in a remix space. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if you could do Mythic Keystones with the wild item scaling of Remix and see how high you can go? We think that would be cool.
OMG chat,
So we're really
OMG
excited
chat,
about
which
folks getting a
audience
chance
are
to do that
you?
and just figuring out how to completely break that game. We completely
Chills
expect you're gonna
warning.
do that.
Unironically,
We
I'm
hope you
pretty
have a
sure
ton
I'll
of fun.
know a lot of people who will play this thing.
Right on.
Because I have a good amount of
But
friends that play WoW.
some of us
Hello,
in dev
Julian.
mode prefer the outdoor world. So one of the other
My hair
things we're
color's
actually
nice.
really
Thank
excited
you.
about that we can do in a closed
Yeah, my
system,
retirement home
like
buddies
a
will be
remix,
jumping
is
out of their
try
seat with
wild
this one.
experiments with the outdoor world.
This is so cool.
So
Never
we're
played
excited to
WoW.
let y'all
WoW's
know
like a
we're
full-time
taking yet another
job.
page from our friends
As
over
is
there
like
on
any
Diablo,
MMO, honestly.
and we're going to try adding a increased difficulty world tier in Legion Remix. It's currently called the Shattered Timeline. It's a timeline where everything went worse. and
MMOs are
everybody is
literally, yes,
significantly more
honey.
difficult.
I log back
So
in
if you
every
would
day
like
to do
challenge
my
yourself
dailies.
while you are leveling up or at max level and doing Legion World
And then I
quests,
do whatever I
head over
need
to the
to
Shattered
do, and then hit the
Timeline and
cap
let
for
us
the
know what you
week,
think.
and then wait until the next week until the reset, and then I do it all over again. Yay! Yes, honey.
Remix isn't the only experimental game mode that we've seen in recent years. There was also something
I'm
called
skipping my hip
Plunderstorm.
replacement
What was that?
operation to play some WoW again. Wait, but
So, again, at the very
actually,
end
you
of
could get
Dragonflight,
your
we
hip
wanted to take some
replacement
really big
operation
experimental
and
swings
then
in what
play
could be
from
a
your
larger
hospital bed.
experiment than not only a game mode in World of Warcraft that didn't use your World of Warcraft character and used a
Wait.
completely new action combat-like system, and you were a pirate, and you entered it through a whole separate screen. It had all of its
WoW
own
was fun, but
rewards,
I've been there,
and
done that, no
also,
need to go
it
back.
was a battle royale. I
Stop
don't
spreading the
think
tech,
anybody
well,
was expecting the
I'm
World
sorry.
of Warcraft team to come out
Did they
with a
skip the
battle
operation thing
royale
about how much
at
WoW
the end of
gold they can
Dragonflight.
get?
And
That is
despite the fact
true.
that it maybe did not have
But
the
they could
largest
have-
Venn diagram overlap with what surveys
But they
have
would feel
told
so
us
much
our
better
players
after the hip
largely play
operation, you
outside of
know?
World of Warcraft, we saw a huge number of players jump in to play Plunderstorm. You can see some of the stats up here. The highest amount of plunder that was learned by a single player was 3.4 million. At least 4 people died to
Plunder, wait,
campfires.
One
We have a
Piece
lot of interesting
mode.
statistics from Plunderstorm. And despite the fact that it was wildly different than WoW and completely
Hyoon,
outside
that's
the
being
normal
the
World of
raid
Warcraft
guild
content, we
leader
saw
of
tons and
Glurm,
tons
and
tons
we
of players
raid in
jump
the
and
next
play it, and we would
expansion.
consider
Girl,
it a
I ain't
huge
playing
success.
that.
And what that tells us is that there's a dire desire from the
Also,
player
I
base
would
to do
hate to
cool
be a
game
guild
modes in
leader.
WoW,
I
and
am
maybe
not
we should
being a
start to
leader of
think
anything.
another one.
Jeremy Fiesel. Can we confirm, maybe we can't get details right now, but can we confirm that we are working on the next fantastic experience?
Fantastic.
We can, in
Wait,
fact,
say that
confirm
again.
That we are working on yet another game
Why do you
mode
freaking say
for World of
fantastic?
Warcraft.
Wait, Fantastic
But
Four,
we were going to
X,
provide even less details because
World of
we would
Warcraft
like that
collaboration.
to be a reveal
Oh my
that
God.
includes probably a lot of cool videos that get across everything we're trying to do here. But to give you a couple of juicy tidbits on this one, it has a vibe that is a little bit on the scary story side of things, and it is not a battle royale.
Okay. Okay, so
Wait.
we have 2 clues.
Ow, my stomach. Ow,
Scary,
ow, ow.
not battle royale. Thank you. That's
Speculate away, and we would love to hear what you think.
Thank you. So in my experience
Ow.
with this WoW
Do you guys
community,
ever have, like...
there has never been anything that was more beloved and more requested than housing. Housing
Oh, jeez.
feels like
Tear
the
my stomach.
culmination of a question this community has been asking
Yes, like, yeah.
since the
Yeah,
beginning
I
of
finished
WoW.
my thing, but...
Tell me,
You ever
Jesse,
just get, like,
how
stomach
did the team
pains?
get
I am
started on
poo.
housing?
Maybe I have to poop soon. That
housing
might
has been
be.
worked
Wait,
on
but I
WoW
I made it
for,
without
I don't know,
pooping
years
on
and years and
company
years and years. You can
time.
find old remnants of data mined houses and really crufty stuff. going
Yeah,
way, way back.
I can finish
lots of
this
cruft.
up, go offline, and then
But,
come back
the sort of the
online
more
for Mario
modern,
Party later
attempt at housing started
with friends.
years before I got here.
Yippee.
And a team had been prototyping and sort of
When
pitching
is that?
and
That's
building
at
towards it,
8
and it
p.m.
had a bunch of really
PST,
compelling,
10 p.m.
sort of,
CST,
prototypes
11
and
p.m.
things we were iterating on.
EST.
I joined the team, started working on housing, started working on even more prototypes for housing because we were sort of very keen on
Are you
dialing in
gonna
a few
stream it?
couple things.
Yeah, I have my capture card and
And
everything.
so now we're
I
here.
should be
We
able
have
to.
a pretty big team working on housing.
20 round Shirley.
Everybody is super excited about it
We'll see.
on the team. Apparently, folks are as well. And in the evolving
I'm excited. I
of
haven't
Azeroth,
played Game with Dappa
y'all
in
have
so
been playing
long.
for, in some cases, 20 years. But our character's been visiting Azeroth. You know, we come, we stay in an inn, we log off, and then we're gone. Now you have a home.
Luckily, PAX will be ongoing
You
throughout the
have
day,
your
so I can
own
continue to watch some awesome
little slice
showcases
of
while I wait for the
Azeroth,
Mario Party. No, I think this
that
is the
you
last
can,
segment.
make your own. You can make a spooky house. You can make a scary house. You can make a cozy house. You can invite your friends over. You can have
Wait,
no,
no, but you
do
can
all these role-playing things that
replay
community's
the
been
segment
clamoring
and
for,
see what you
in a
missed
space that's yours.
to
But it's
catch
not
up
just your
on it.
space.
Am I
You're
right?
in a larger context of a neighborhood.
Why did I say
So
that?
it's
What do you
me
mean?
and you and you and you and you and you and you, and there are
Wait, you can
groups
be a
of friends, there are
homeowner
communities, there
in
are
WoW.
guilds who are inhabiting a shared
I didn't miss
space,
anything?
and they will be able to inhabit that space for
No, you missed a
for years
lot.
to
You
come.
gotta
your
go back
progression,
into the VOD and
you
rewatch
know, on
with
a
your
tier
own
right now is 6
own
months,
eyes.
something like that. Your progression in housing is forever if you want it to be. So it's super exciting when you think about the world, how we interact with it now, and how we will interact with it in the near future. How does having a persistent space that players can call their home, how does it affect the way we build content?
I'm no longer
Of course it
homeless.
does, absolutely. One of the most exciting things, in a designer sort of way, as opposed to a player sort of way, maybe, but maybe not, is the potential to have quests give you rewards of things you can do for your house, things you can decorate your house with, things that are mementos of some achievement that you managed to pull off, some awesome thing you did.
Awesome
we talk a little
thing.
bit about that in
Say that
Ixia
again?
Head, and where we're going to put it, you know, exactly. It also gives us an opportunity to look at what might happen if we brought content to you.
Husband,
So,
you spent all our savings. Now we
thinking
are
a lot
homeless.
About, opportunities here right now. The giddy designers, though, are very excited about.
Wait, I
Core
saw a
because
tweet
They have
earlier.
all sorts of ideas of cool
It was for a
things that
gotcha
could-
game. I
could
think
go
it was
into your
Brown
house and
Dust
be an
2. I think
awesome
Brown
reward,
Dust 2 was
and
originally
get you guys
rated
out
like
there
for
exploring
12
the
and
world.
up, and now they
Yeah,
changed
I
it to
don't
like
know
a
if you know
mature
this, but,
rating. And I was like,
one of
that's
the first
crazy. It
conversations we
wasn't
had,
changed to a
this was
mature
in the
rating
housing
given
prototype
the
V19 or
graphics
something.
in the game.
We were talking about how to build content, and you gave me the example that I used to pitch repeatedly for all the exec meetings, which was, so right now if you go in WoW and you find a village and there's a merchant and he's like, oh no, my cattle
What do you
have run off," or
mean?
something
What
like
do you
that.
mean? What do I mean?
Save their cattle, you come back and you say goodbye, merchant.
Brown Dust
in
2
housing,
has some.
we now have the opportunity for that merchant
You
to
know
come
what
by your
the frick
house,
was fricked up?
and you say
Cutie?
thank
Okay,
you for your
Cutie sent
things,
me a
and he goes on his way,
screenshot
and he
of a
comes back
gotcha
every day
game,
or every
and then he was
week.
like, look, you should play this
And then
game.
at
I
some point
found
he stops coming
Skara
by.
in it.
And you're like, huh.
And then I was like, what game are you even playing? In no way this
He's
guy
on the
said
death
Brown
list.
Dust 2, and I was like, you're
She
literally
killed
playing the most
Blanche. I know,
gooner
right?
gotcha game I've ever seen in my
merchant was
life.
just down the street,
And I also
it
said
was-
that is not Skara.
The merchant's not dead.
Which
He's just
is
down the
fricked up of
street.
him to say it was Skara.
And you say, oh, hey, merchant, I can
I
help you
mean-
now. And you bring back his cattle or whatever, and he starts his trek again. And that
I'm
feels so much
freaking
more
lost. The TFT
alive,
has
it feels so much
literally
more personal
plagued
than
his
just
mind
like,
where he
"Oh,
had to
later,
go
POI,
play
I'm glad
Brown
we've had
Dust
that
2. I don't think
conversation."
even Lakari plays Brown
and yeah,
Dust
to
2,
the
by
point
the
with
way, which
designers,
is like,
we had to
and
come up
Lakari
with a
is
brand
the
new
gotcha
process
guy.
for how other designers request decor. Because they've all been clamoring, hey, I'm doing a quest in this place. Can I get a whatever prop?
Yet. You
And
think
it's
he would
been
play
a
it?
deluge, and so we're like, okay, we need
What
a
was the game
process
that I
for this now
watched him
because
play?
there's
Was
a
it
lot.
Girls Frontier or something?
And so yeah, there's we've been.
I don't
reinventing a
remember.
lot of
He was
wheels
like,
right
"Watch
now
this.
for-
This is
for better.
freaking cool."
Something else there's been a lot
and then he was
of
like
is
visiting.
a desire to talk to
I don't
the
know. What
community.
is it
as
called?
we're building
Girls
out
Frontier?
housing.
It's something
And
Frontier.
I just want to compliment you personally, you and the team. The housing team has been very open about wanting to.
No,
share with the
I have a
community
mental
what we're
illness.
doing and what
Was
we
he was
might
playing
be able
Honkai
to do
Star
so that
Rail
we
and
can
he
make
wanted
sure
to
that
swipe.
community is heard and that they're
Oh, Girls
receiving, so to speak, what
Frontline.
they,
Yes,
what
that's.
they
I think
want
that's
out
what
of
it's called.
housing. Tell me a little, just anything you can tell me.
2-minute version.
Okay, Midnight, The Last Titan, Beyond. tell me something about what's coming for housing.
A lot of things are coming for housing. The first release that we have is just that. It's the first release for housing.
Yes.
We are going to be building on housing for the foreseeable
That reminds
future.
you what?
We have a
Brown
very,
Dust 2 looking
very bulky
girl.
roadmap full of stuff. You know, the community response to it has been amazing. In that,
Different
like, we'll
kind of
make a
endgame
post,
decor,
and then we'll
old
see
is
this big
new
discussion come up, and
again.
we'll be, like,
Evergreen,
plucking, like, we should
lots
think about
more to
adding
come
that.
over time.
That seems like a good idea. Put it on the roadmap.
No freaking way, guys.
The team has, channels devoted to
Guys, there's only
brainstorming
1
and
minute
coming up
left
with
of
new
this
stuff.
segment. I'm so
There has
freaking
been
sad.
no shortage of amazing ideas that are all just, fighting each other to get on.
What am I gonna do with the
so
rest
yeah,
of my day?
got a lot
I don't
coming.
know. This is
We'll-
literally the
you'll
peak
hear
of my
more,
day.
over the next
At
couple
least we have
weeks.
more tomorrow. That's
I think
freaking
we'll
true.
be talking about some other things that people want to
Bright
hear
and
about
early
very
again
soon, too.
tomorrow.
Regarding
Let's
housing,
count
there's
down
a
together
development anecdote I want
again.
to share with y'all, which is right now when you go to an innkeeper, you can bind your
sleeping in my
Hearthstone to there, and
bed.
then that makes it so that you can return there whenever you want. Right now, if you go to an innkeeper in the game right now, any innkeeper in the world, it will say,
He doesn't even wanna
make this
move.
in
He's
my home. And we had to
just
change
staring
that
at
at
me from
midnight
the
because that's
bed.
not true anymore. Because you'll have a home.
Maybe this
now
is
it just
her
says, bind
scheduled
my
nap
Hearthstone to this
time.
inn. I think that's kind of special.
It's lovely.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Paul. That's nice. And I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank all of you for coming. And
Thank
everyone
you.
watching
She was so
online,
quiet
thank
during
you
sponsor.
so
Yeah,
much.
I'm surprised she didn't
Really
like
enjoyed your insights.
jump up or do whatever. She was just like, you know what? I'm gonna freaking chill here. I'm good.
From the entire World of Warcraft development team, we cannot wait to see you in Azeroth. And
Yeah, I
welcome you
can't
home.
freaking wait. Yippee!
Thank you, everybody.
Woo, World of Warcraft! Yay! This was so freaking epic. Wait, what is this?
Hi, I'm your girlfriend. I can't wait for our journey ahead. I will always be by your side.
This is like, oh,
You
this
can't
is.
leave. You're mine, and I won't let you go.
Driven by intelligent AI. Oh, nah. Girl. This is just not a ripoff of my side? Or me side? Nah. Nah. AI slop? Just skip. Nah. I'm good. But okay. Time to go. And I'll be back for Mario Party later. Yay! I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. What time? At 8 p.m.